Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. There are growing global divisions, disputes, and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health, and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है, हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। Relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries-old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beats blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions, is the guiding vision for the global south. Whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve.
On to some other news, a stunning twist in the Disha Salyan case. The Maharashtra government has now clarified that no one has been given a clean chit. Now, Minister Shambhuraj Desai confirmed that only interim findings have been submitted so far and the final report is still awaited. Now, this means that the investigation is still very much active and nothing has been ruled out. Take a look at this report.
It's a case that rocked Bollywood. and sparked political tremors across Maharashtra. Now, in a dramatic twist, the Disha Salyan death probe is back in the spotlight. Amid swirling speculations and years of silence, the Maharashtra government has now made a big revelation: no one has been given a clean chit yet. Not just that, even the so-called interim report isn't the final word. Maharashtra Minister Subhanshu Raj Desai, in a big statement, confirmed it.
दिशा सालियान का रिपोर्ट फाइनल नहीं है. अभी गृह राज्य मंत्री से मेरी बात हुई है, वो इंटरिम फाइंडिंग्स है, फाइनल फाइंडिंग्स अभी तक आए नहीं है. और जो इंटरिम भी अगर फाइंडिंग्स दिए उसमें किसी को भी क्लीन चिट नहीं दी गई है. ऐसा ये जब तक फाइनल रिपोर्ट नहीं आता है तब तक किसी को क्लीन चिट देने का कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा रहता. जब फाइनल रिपोर्ट आएगा तब इसके बारे में बात. इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑनगोइंग है.
For years, conspiracy theories around Disha Salyan's death just days before actor Sushant Singh Rajput's tragic demise have refused to die down. And with the Maharashtra government officially stating the final report is still pending, this could be the beginning of a fresh political and legal storm. The public continues to track every twist, every revelation and every unanswered question in the Disha Salyan case.
Viewers, time to take a break. Coming up ahead, sources say British Navy's F-35 jet stuck in Kerala may be dismantled and airlifted to the UK as the repairs failed. A team from the UK is set to arrive in Kerala today. Also, the big story that we are tracking, Prime Minister Modi is in Argentina. He meets with the Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi, first Indian Prime Minister in 57 years to visit the country. The details on those big stories and much more is lined up for you after a short break. Stay with us.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने.
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of intelligence gathering activities were on Earth.
Viewers, welcome back after the break. We have breaking news coming in. India has made it clear that it won't be rushed into a trade deal. Well, Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has made it clear India won't be rushed into a trade deal, and he says that New Delhi will negotiate on its own terms, not according to any external timeline. Now, this strong statement comes just before 9th of July. Remember, when the pause on the retaliatory tariffs set by US President Donald Trump is set to expire. And Piyush Goyal has made it very clear that India's interests are more important and not the deadline. And he said that if a good deal is formed, India is always ready to engage with the developed countries. So making it very clear that India won't be rushed into a deal. Let's listen in to Piyush Goyal.
भारत अपने शर्तों पर चर्चा करता है. अलग अलग देशों के साथ चर्चा चल रही है. यूरोपियन यूनियन हो, न्यूजीलैंड हो, ओमान हो, यूएसए हो, चिली हो, पेरू हो, कई देशों के साथ एग्रीमेंट की बात चल रही है। फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट तभी संभव होता है जब दो तरफा फायदा हो। इट शुड बी अ विन विन एग्रीमेंट। और जब भारत के इंटरेस्ट को सुरक्षित रखते हुए, नेशनल इंटरेस्ट विल ऑलवेज बी सुप्रीम, वो ध्यान में रखते हुए अच्छा अगर डील बनती है तो भारत तो विकसित देशों के साथ डील करने के लिए कभी भी तैयार है। भारत कभी कोई ट्रेड डील डेडलाइन या समय सीमा के आधार पर कभी नहीं करता है। जब डील अच्छी बन जाए, पूरी तरीके से पक जाए और देश हित में हो, तब उसको हम स्वीकार करते हैं।
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Welcome back, viewers. A major breakthrough in the decades-old Assam-Meghalaya border dispute. Now, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has announced the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding, or the MOU, to clearly define the boundaries between the two states. A big step towards a lasting resolution. Here's the story.
In a major step towards resolving the decades-old border dispute between Assam and Meghalaya, Assam CM announced that the first boundary pillar has been erected in one of the previously contested areas along the interstate boundary. Sarma on Friday announced the signing of MOU to define boundaries between Assam and Meghalaya. In a post on social media X, the CM wrote that the signed MOU would help people and administration have clarity on the jurisdiction and would also allow the governance to shine in the once grey areas. Preston Tinsong, while speaking to Republic exclusively, lauded the move.
The historic moment for Meghalaya and Assam, and it will also be a good news to all our neighboring states among ourselves, and I'm very sure we will be able to resolve it one by one. And as I said to you, the credit goes to the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam and also the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, who has taken this bold initiative to make sure that the solution to the long pending issue is resolved.
With the signing of the MOU and the erection of the first boundary pillar, Assam and Meghalaya are taking significant steps towards resolving their decades-old border dispute.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज.
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets, which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of intelligence gathering activities were on earlier also, but they were not very organized on military scale. You see, earlier we had some satellites which ISRO had launched. We had cartograph series of satellites. We had reset set of satellites which were rather, radar imaging satellites.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very good morning, viewers. It's 10 a.m. and you're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Focus remains on the high-profile murder case in Patna, where a businessman was killed in a cold-blooded murder by unknown assailants right outside his apartment late last night. We'll get you all that and much more after a quick check on the headlines. PM Modi arrives in Argentina, meets Indian diaspora. PM Modi, first Indian Prime Minister in 57 years to visit Argentina. Businessman Gopal Khemka shot dead in Patna right outside his residence by unknown assailants. Union Minister Piyush Goyal's big statement on India-US trade deal says national interest above deadline. After Karnataka's fake caste census sham was exposed, BBMP suspends revenue officer for negligence in survey sticker pasting task. 36 injured after 5 buses collide in Amarnath Yatra convoy in Ramban. According to sources, British Navy's F-35 jet stuck in Kerala may be dismantled and airlifted to UK as repairs failed. A tech team from UK is all set to arrive in Kerala today. First up, viewers, Patna businessman was shot dead right outside his apartment late last night, and now an SIT has been formed to probe the murder case to establish any sort of link between the 2018 murder case of Gopal Khemka's son, Gunjan Khemka, and the murder that took place last night right outside Gopal Khemka's residence. The incident took place in the Gandhi Maidan police station limits, and after he was shot at, Gopal Khemka was quickly taken to the Mediversal hospital, but he succumbed to his injuries. Patna's senior SP has confirmed that Gopal Khemka was shot, and he was shot right outside his house. The FSL team has now cordoned off the area. Crucial pieces of evidence have also been collected. Let's listen in.
तो ये थे पुलिसकर्मी जो कि कोई बता नहीं रहा है। अब देखिए ये पुलिसकर्मी जो है अब ये जा रहे हैं इधर, अब स्टेट बैंक की तरफ जा रहे हैं। अब ये इधर से भी अब खंगालने की कोशिश करेंगे, इस इलाके से भी सीसीटीवी फुटेज, जो कि मैं आपको बार बार बताना चाह रहा हूँ। ये एक बिल्डिंग है और इस बिल्डिंग में इस बिल्डिंग के जरिए, क्योंकि जो क्राइम सीन है, क्राइम स्पॉट ऑफ इंसिडेंस है, मैं अनुपम को बोलूँगा। अब ये देखिए, ये गेट है, गेट के पास अपराधी जो है खड़े रहते हैं और खड़े रहते हैं। सवाल ये उठता है, मैं फिर से रिक्रिएट करके बताऊंगा इस स्पॉट को। यहाँ पर गोली से मारा जाता है, ये जगह है जहाँ पर अपराधी खड़े होंगे, और ये जो है ब्लड स्टेन्स है यहाँ पे। अब इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन एंगल को मैं बताने की कोशिश करूंगा यहाँ से कि कैसे इस वाक़या को अंजाम दिया गया होगा। सबसे पहले तो जो अपराधी थे उनको पता था कि गोपाल खेमका रात को 12 बजे घर वापस लौट रहे हैं बांकीपुर क्लब से। गांधी मैदान का इलाका है, 12 बजे रात को लौटने वाले हैं। इसका मतलब अपराधियों को पता है कि गाड़ी चलाकर आ रहे हैं। जैसे ही गाड़ी यहाँ पहुँचती है, अपराधी यहाँ पर खड़े होंगे, यहाँ पर से शूट की जाती है उनको और गोलियों से छलनी कर दिया जाता है। यहाँ पर खून के निशान है। अब ये देखना है कि इस दीवार के सहारे आप खड़े हैं तो क्या सामने से कोई सीसीटीवी फुटेज उस अपराधी की तस्वीर को कैद किया है नहीं, इस एंगल से कोई सीसीटीवी कैमरा है या नहीं मेरे बाएं साइड में, फिर मेरे दाहिने साइड में है या नहीं। जनरली अमूमन बिल्डिंग के टॉप पर सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगा होता है, लेकिन जहां पर मैं खड़ा हूं गेट के एंट्रेंस पर, यहां पर से हमको कवर मिल जाता है, छिपने की गुंजाइश मिल जाती है, और जो साथी अपराधी होते हैं ये सब रेकी करके आते हैं। तो यहां पर से फ्रंट व्यू जो है, अगर यहां खड़ा होगा अपराधी और इंसिडेंट
Well, that was my colleague Prakash trying to explain the timeline of events that happened, and now an SIT has been formed to crack the case and also to nab the murderers of Gopal Khemka. He is a Patna-based industrialist. He was the director and MD of 8 different companies. He has 42 years of corporate experience, and he was also the owner of the Magad hospital, which he has sublet to the Mediversal hospital, where he was shifted late last night after he was shot at by unknown assailants. Now, what we'll have to understand is whether there is a link between the 2018 murder of his son Gunjan Khemka, and the police are now trying to crack the case. The FSL team has collected all the pieces of the murder puzzle, and they are now analyzing the crime scene to get any sort of clues as to what really happened here. And looking at the way Gopal Khemka was murdered right outside his residence, it seems like the assailants knew about Gopal Khemka's timings as to what time he arrives at home, how he arrives, whether there is a security cover that he also has or not. So this prima facie looks like a very meticulously planned murder, as the assailants knew what time Gopal Khemka was heading back home. In fact, the SP has also issued a statement. Let's listen in.
4 तारीख की रात में 11 बजे के आसपास गांधी मैदान के साउथ एरिया में यह सूचना मिली है कि अपार्टमेंट के सामने जो बिजनेसमैन है गोपाल खेमका जी, उनको चोट लगने से गोली लगने से मृत्यु हो गई है। जैसे इसकी सूचना पुलिस को मिली है हॉस्पिटल में, तो वहाँ पे पुलिस पहुँच गई थी। यहाँ पे सीन को सिक्योर किया गया है और बाकी की जांच पड़ताल की जा रही है। कैमरा से इत्यादि खंगाले जा रहे हैं और बाकी की कार्रवाई आगे की जाएगी।
Well, that was the SP confirming that unknown assailants rained bullets on Gopal Khemka, and in the aftermath as well, we've seen how the bullet shells were also found at the crime scene. The FSL has recovered these bullet shells to ascertain the weapon that was used, the gun that was used, and also to know whether there is a conspiracy behind the murder case, because just 7 years back, Gopal Khemka's son Gunjan Khemka was also murdered in a similar fashion. Like Prakash was mentioning, the police are now trying to ascertain if there are any CCTVs located in the area, and if there are, then the clippings will be analyzed to know and unmask the killers of Gopal Khemka. In fact, we also have Prakash joining us live. Prakash, we've just saw the police team there visiting the SBI bank branch to ascertain whether the CCTV was covering the crime scene, and if so, that particular footage will also be recovered and analyzed. Prakash, if you could hear me, the police team just visited the SBI bank branch, and what we understand is that the statements of the family members of Gopal Khemka will also be recorded. Tell us more as far as the investigation is concerned.
Well, it's certain that we gave you the visuals of the State Bank of India branch where the police team just entered, and it's the one and the same building. Just it separates the wall, the commercial complex as well as the residential complex. There is a wall, but it's one and the same building. Now, they would be looking at various angles of the State Bank of India CCTV footage as well, because the front view comprises. So there you have, there is one CCTV camera, but as I showed you, from that particular angle, as we stand at this particular place, as we stand at this particular place, the CCTV camera behind on the wall, situated on the wall, will not be able to capture the video from here, because they would have done a recce, the assailants would have done a recce, and as and when I come here, then the CCTV footage camera, if it is working, will capture the video. So there would be some amount of video footage available if the assailants would have been walking in this particular area. Now, this is the State Bank of India premises. They will also be looking at the CCTV footage available in this particular area. Now, there you have another CCTV camera located on that particular. वो दिखाइए CCTV camera. CCTV camera. This is second CCTV camera. There you have the third CC camera. The State Bank of India has 3 CCTV camera, as we can show you in the visuals. We'll have a closer look. So these angles will be captured. So the veracity of the assailants would be ascertained from these CCTV cameras, if at all it has captured. Now, if the assailants have come from that particular way, leading from the Gandhi Maidan where Mr. Khemka's way to his residence is, then if at all the assailants would have done a recce, then they might find it difficult, but it looks like in all probability and possibility that there would be some video footage available of the assailants. Now the police and the SIT team will have to work on this particular angle. Now another angle to it is that, was there any link between the murder of both father and son? His son was murdered in 2018 in Hajipur, 35 kilometers away from this spot of incidents, and we are also told that there was a firing that also took place on his son, the second son, who is a doctor apparently. That has also to be ascertained. Third, he has various business interests, multiple business interests into healthcare, real estate, chemist shops, as well as petrol pump. So whether there was any rivalry into that or not, because as far as the real estate business is concerned, the land prices in Patna, in and around Patna, has skyrocketed, and there may be some conflict there. So police will be looking into that angle as well. So all this would be ascertained, and yes, the CCTV footage is the main aspect which the SIT team and the Patna police would be looking at, and this is a cold-blooded murder that has taken place in Patna and rocked the city of Patna.
Right, Prakash, the CCTV holds the key to nabbing the assailants. Many thanks for joining us with those details. Just a few moments back, we showed how the police entered the SBI bank to recover the CCTV clippings, to analyze these clippings, to get the identity of the assailants. And like Prakash was mentioning, a meticulously planned murder has rocked Patna, because one of the CCTVs that is directly pointing at the crime scene also has a blind spot for the assailants. Now moving on, viewers, Union Minister of Commerce and Trade Piyush Goyal has sent out a very, very strong message to Washington DC, saying that India will put nation first and not any deadline, and that the trade deal will focus on national interests and not much heed will be paid to the deadline that has been issued. Let's listen in to Piyush Goyal.
भारत अपने शर्तों पर चर्चा करता है, अलग अलग देशों के साथ चर्चा चल रही है, यूरोपियन यूनियन हो, न्यूजीलैंड हो, ओमान हो, यूएसए हो, चिली हो, पेरू हो, कई देशों के साथ एग्रीमेंट की बात चल रही है। फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट तभी संभव होता है जब दो तरफा फायदा हो, इट शुड बी अ विन विन एग्रीमेंट, और जब भारत के इंटरेस्ट को सुरक्षित रखते हुए, नेशनल इंटरेस्ट विल ऑलवेज बी सुप्रीम, वो ध्यान में रखते हुए अच्छा अगर डील बनती है तो भारत तो विकसित देशों के साथ डील करने के लिए कभी भी तैयार है। भारत कभी कोई ट्रेड डील डेडलाइन या समय सीमा के आधार पर कभी नहीं करता है। जब डील अच्छी बन जाए, पूरी तरीके से पक जाए और देश हित में हो, तब उसको हम स्वीकार करते हैं।
Viewers, moving on to another shocking incident that has come in from Chittagong in Bangladesh, and this from the Chittagong University, where you can see radical students surrounding Dr. Kushal Baran Chakrabarti, a professor of the Chittagong University, a respected academician, and also a very, very religious figure from the Hindu community, was allegedly surrounded and threatened by radical student groups linked to Jamaat Shibir. Professor Chakrabarti, who is also the son of a freedom fighter, was reportedly held hostage on campus by those enraged over his stance on minority rights. There you can see, these are the pictures of the students, the radical students, threatening and surrounding a Hindu professor at Chittagong University in Bangladesh. This is how the Yunus regime has given a free run to radical elements. After Hindu monks and seers, now a Hindu professor has been targeted. He has been surrounded, threatened, and also held hostage on the campus. And this over his stance on minority rights. The Hindu professor had been advocating for the rights of the minority community in Bangladesh. Enraged by this, extremists, radical elements in the Chittagong University, students linked to the Jamaat group, have surrounded and threatened Dr. Chakrabarti. Meanwhile, viewers, search operations have been launched in Kathua after communication of suspected terrorists were also identified, and the police, the security forces are on high alert along with the CRPF as well. They are carrying out these searches. in the upper reaches of Kathua. The search operations are currently underway after they recovered a communication set of suspected terrorists. And these communication sets were intercepted. Gursimran is joining us live. Gursimran, tell us about the latest search operations that are currently underway in Kathua. What exactly happened and what led to these search operations being launched by our forces?
See, what we are being told that it was late yesterday afternoon when the security forces intercepted a satellite communication by suspected terrorists in the area of Najot, which is close to the Sukrala Mata temple in the upper reaches of the Bilawar, after which the joint forces have launched a massive search operations in the area. What we are being told that these search operations have been launched by the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police along with the Central Reserve Police Force, because there has been reliable inputs with the security agencies regarding the presence of the Pakistani terrorists of Jaish-e-Mohammed in this very area. The Panchtirthi area of the Bilawar has already seen a couple of encounters in the vicinity. So nothing is being ruled out, and as we speak, the search operations are underway in the area because there lies a probability that the terrorists may be communicating with their terror handlers across the border using the communication sets, and that's why this interception came to the security forces in the Najot area of the Bilawar, after which the operations are underway. We are told that the senior officials, including from the Special Operations Group of the Kathua, they are maintaining a strict vigil on the search operations that are underway in the area.
Right, Gursimran, thank you for joining me with those details. Now shifting our focus to Delhi encounter, where two suspected shooters of the Himanshu Bao gang have been shot at by the police, and these gang members were also allegedly involved in a murder in Rohtak recently. The police have now encountered these two criminals identified as Mohit and Bhumit in the Narela area. These individuals are believed to be shooters of the Himanshu Bao gang and were involved in a recent murder case in Rohtak. During the wee hours early today, the Delhi Police's special cell shot at two criminals identified as Mohit and Bhumit. Both of them belong to the Himanshu Bao gang. And this is a criminal gang that has been operating in the Delhi NCR region. And these criminals who were shot at were involved in a murder in Rohtak recently. And the manhunt had been launched by the Delhi Police Special Cell today. Upon credible intel, the police intercepted these two criminals, and in self-defense, the Delhi Police Special Cell opened fire at these two criminals. Jatin is joining us live. Jatin, tell us about this early morning encounter between the Delhi Police Special Cell and these two criminals, allegedly sharpshooters of the Himanshu Bao gang.
बिल्कुल, देखिए नरेला में देर रात ये एनकाउंटर हुआ है और स्पेशल सेल को जानकारी मिली थी कि भाऊ गैंग के जो दो शूटर हैं वो नरेला पहुंचने वाले हैं, जिसके बाद वहां पर ट्रैप लगाया गया। दोनों ही शूटर बाइक से आते हुए नजर आए, जिसके बाद दिल्ली पुलिस की स्पेशल सेल ने दोनों ही शूटर्स को सरेंडर करने के लिए बोला। एक भूमित नाम का शूटर था और दूसरे की पहचान नीरज के तौर पर हुई है। इन दोनों ने जब सरेंडर नहीं किया, पुलिस पर बाकायदा 3 राउंड इन दोनों शूटर्स ने फायरिंग की। जवाबी कार्रवाई करते हुए दिल्ली पुलिस की स्पेशल सेल ने 4 राउंड फायरिंग की। कुल 7 राउंड फायरिंग हुई, दोनों के पैर पे गोली लगी, जिसके बाद अस्पताल में इन्हें भर्ती कराया गया। इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये चीजें निकलकर सामने आ रही हैं कि नीरज और भूमित इससे पहले रोहतक में एक व्यापारी की हत्या के मामले में शामिल थे और लगातार दिल्ली और एनसीआर में अपनी आपराधिक वारदातों को अंजाम दे रहे थे। जानकारी दिल्ली पुलिस की नॉर्दर्न रेंज को, स्पेशल सेल की जो नॉर्दर्न रेंज है, उनको इन दोनों के बारे में मिली, जिसके बाद ट्रैप लगाकर इन दोनों को सरेंडर करने के लिए बोला गया, लेकिन जवाबी कार्रवाई में दोनों ही घायल हुए। अब उन्हें अस्पताल में भर्ती कराया गया है, लेकिन भाऊ गैंग से जुड़े हुए थे। आपको याद होगा कि कल शाहबाद डेयरी में भी एनकाउंटर हुआ था, वहां पे क्राइम ब्रांच ने एनकाउंटर किया था और नंदू गैंग से जुड़ा हुआ वो जो शूटर से वो गिरफ्तार किए। लगातार जो दिल्ली में एनकाउंटर हो रहे हैं उसके पीछे सबसे बड़ा कारण यही है कि दिल्ली में अपना वर्चस्व कायम करने के लिए, चाहे वो भाऊ गैंग हो, नंदू गैंग हो, मंजीत महाल गैंग हो, ये सभी लोग आपराधिक गतिविधियों को अंजाम दे रहे हैं और यही कारण है कि अपने वर्चस्व को खत्म करने के लिए दिल्ली पुलिस एक ऑपरेशन चला रही है, जिसके चलते अलग अलग यूनिट जिस भी क्रिमिनल के बारे में उन्हें टिप मिलती है उसको पकड़ने की कवायद शुरू की जा रही है। और यही कारण है कि पिछले 4 दिनों में दिल्ली के अंदर 3 बड़े एनकाउंटर हुए और अलग अलग गैंग के जो शार्प शूटर्स हैं उनको पकड़ा गया। भाऊ गैंग के शार्प शूटर्स को आज पकड़ा गया, कल नंदू गैंग के शार्प शूटर्स को पकड़ा गया था, और उससे पहले लॉरेंस बिश्नोई के लिए काम करने वाले जो अलग अलग छोटे गैंग हैं उनके शूटर्स को पकड़ा गया। तो लगातार दिल्ली पुलिस कार्रवाई कर रही है ताकि दिल्ली में जो गैंग्स चल रहे हैं उनको कहीं ना कहीं डीएक्टिवेट किया जा सके। बैक टू स्टूडियो।
Right, Jatin, thank you for joining us with those details. Well, the Delhi police is also following a similar model that is being followed in Uttar Pradesh, Operation Langra, and that a similar episode is unfolding in the national capital. Criminals are not being spared, surrender or face the bullets. Now, moving on, there's a sensational twist in the Disha Salian case. The Maharashtra government has clarified that there is no clean sheet to anybody in this particular matter. And Shambhuraj Desai has also said, he's a Maharashtra minister, he has said that only interim findings have been submitted and there is more than what meets the eye in this case. Take a look.
It's a case that rocked Bollywood and sparked political tremors across Maharashtra. Now, in a dramatic twist, the Disha Salian death probe is back in the spotlight. Amid swirling speculations and years of silence, the Maharashtra government has now made a big revelation: no one has been given a clean chit yet. Not just that, even the so-called interim report isn't the final word. Maharashtra Minister Subhanshu Raj Desai, in a big statement, confirmed it.
दिशा सालियन का रिपोर्ट फाइनल नहीं है। अभी गृह राज्य मंत्री से मेरी बात हुई है, वो इंटरिम फाइंडिंग्स है, फाइनल फाइंडिंग्स अभी तक आए नहीं है। और जो इंटरिम भी अगर फाइंडिंग्स दिए उसमें किसी को भी क्लीन चिट नहीं दी गई है। ऐसा ये जब तक फाइनल रिपोर्ट नहीं आता है तब तक किसी को क्लीन चिट देने का कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा रहता। जब फाइनल रिपोर्ट आएगा तब इसके बारे में बात। इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑनगोइंग है।
For years, conspiracy theories around Disha Salian's death just days before actor Sushant Singh Rajput's tragic demise have refused to die down. And with the Maharashtra government officially stating the final report is still pending, this could be the beginning of a fresh political and legal storm. The public continues to track every twist, every revelation and every unanswered question in the Disha Salian case.
With that, viewers, it's time for a quick break. On the other side, we'll tell you about the UK tech team that is all set to arrive, dismantle and ship the F-35 of the UK Navy back to United Kingdom. Along with that, we'll also tell you more about the Prime Minister's historic Argentina visit. He will be speaking to Javier Milei. Stay tuned for more updates on the other side.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of intelligence gathering activities were on earlier also, but they were not very organized on military scale. You see, earlier we had some satellites which ISRO had launched. We had cartograph series of satellites. We had reset set of satellites, which were rather, radar imaging satellites.
This week on Get Me Right, we put a searchlight on the plight of the Hindu community of Sindh in Pakistan. Their daily struggles just to be able to survive amid abductions, conversions, and targeting of their women. Also, is China deliberately hitting India's food security by squeezing the supply of specialty fertilizers amid Kharif season? And if yes, do we have a way out? Is an experiment with genetically modified crops worth a shot to increase India's agricultural output? Join me this weekend only on Republic TV.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
We'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
This rocket company is the only reason we can now send America astronauts into space. Take over, Elon. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid. Maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem: it blows up. So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out.
This is not the end.
Viewers, we have breaking news coming in. Bihar's capital Patna, assailants have shot dead a well-known businessman, Gopal Khemka. The incident took place in the Gandhi Maidan police station area, and after being shot, Gopal Khemka was admitted to the Mediversal Hospital, but he was pronounced dead. Now, Patna senior SP has confirmed that Gopal Khemka was shot. He was shot near his house. So in Patna, there's political heat also increasing ahead of the elections in the state, as well as very significant, a very important businessman, Gopal Khemka, has been shot dead near his residence. And remember, this coming in even as earlier, some years back, his son was also killed and he was also shot dead in similar circumstances. And now Gopal Khemka, a well-known businessman, was shot dead outside his house in Patna. And Republic TV has got the access to the CCTV footage outside his house. And that footage we can clearly see also be looking at, because this incident took place in the Gandhi Maidan police station just outside his residence, and he lived in this twin tower society which is adjacent to the hotel, and the accused shot him and fled from the scene. So this CCTV footage might be of key significance in cracking the case for the police. Khemka apparently died on the spot. Now, police have recovered also. They have reached the crime scene. They are continuing investigations. And reports say that the CCTV footage is also being accessed, and these are the live visuals that you can see. This is the
स्टेट मेडिसिन्स हॉस्पिटल उनके पास था, एक मगध हॉस्पिटल जिसको उन्होंने आउटसोर्स कर दिया था मेडिवर्सल ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज को। अब किस बिजनेस में इनका कन्फ्लिक्ट था वो पता करने की पुलिस कोशिश करेगी, और बिना कन्फ्लिक्ट के तो ये हादसा को अंजाम दिया नहीं गया होगा। ठीक उसी तरीके से उनके बेटे को भी मारा गया था 2018 में, तो ज़रूर कोई ना कोई बिजनेस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा, कोई ना कोई कारण होगा, पहली बात। दूसरी बात, जहाँ तक सियासी भूचाल की है, बिल्कुल चुनावी मौसम है, और इस तरह की बात होना ठीक चुनाव के पहले एक बड़े व्यवसायी की हत्या हो जाना सवालिया निशान खड़ा करता है नीतीश कुमार के प्रशासन पर, नीतीश कुमार के विधि व्यवस्था पर, क्योंकि कानून का राज उन्होंने स्थापित किया था 2005 के बाद। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पर 2010 में उन्हें बड़ी विजय हासिल हुई थी, और लगातार 20 साल से मुख्यमंत्री है। और उनके यूएसपी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पर विपक्ष हमेशा सवाल उठाता रहा है कि वो उनका स्वास्थ्य ठीक नहीं है, वो अब सरकार नहीं चला पा रहे। इस तरह की बातें उठती रहती हैं, और विधि व्यवस्था को खासकर आए दिन पटना में देखा गया है। तस्वीरें वायरल होती हैं, डिजिटल युग है आजकल, तो तस्वीरें वायरल होती रहती है तमंचा लेके लोगों के चलने फिरने का। और आरजेडी के नेता तेजस्वी यादव लगातार हमलावर रहे हैं, सवाल उठाते रहे हैं, और उसको लेकर चिंताएं बढ़ती जा रही हैं। तो बिल्कुल एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है। जैसे 2004 की वाकया में याद दिला दूं, जब एक उस समय अपहरण का ये उद्योग फल फूल रहा था, तो अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी ने उठाया था कि कहाँ गया मेरा गोलू। एक गोलू बच्चे का अपहरण हुआ था, और ठीक चुनाव के पहले एक बड़े व्यवसायी की हत्या हो जाना 20 साल पहले की घटना की पुनरावृत्ति होती है, और सवाल खड़ा होता है मौजूदा शासन पर।
Public TV has got access to the CCTV footage. This is just outside his residence, and this is where the crime actually took place. And this CCTV footage is also being examined by the police. At the moment, the reason behind the crime is not known. Now, talking about Mr. Khemka, he was a well-established industrialist. He had a wide-ranging business portfolio. He was the owner of one of the hospitals, which is Patna, one of the top premier healthcare institutions. He was the owner of that particular hospital.
व्यवस्था ऐसी है कि 6-7 साल, 8 साल, 10 साल केस चलता है, और उसके बाद लैक ऑफ एविडेंस के आधार पर उसे एक्विटल भी मिल जाता है। अब भगवान जाने कानून व्यवस्था या पुलिस तंत्र किस हिसाब से चार्जशीट फाइल करती है, कि अधिकतर केसों में हमने देखा है। अब अजीत सरकार मर्डर केस हुआ, उसमें लोगों को एक्विटल मिल गए, तरह तरह के सवाल उठाए गए। रॉकी यादव केस हुआ, जिसमें कि एक पॉइंट ब्लैंक रेंज पर आदित्य सचदेव नाम के व्यक्ति बच्चे की पॉइंट ब्लैंक रेंज पर हत्या कर दी गई, बुलेट मिल गए, पिस्टल्स मिल गए। 2016 की घटना है। हमने और हमारे एडिटर इन चीफ अर्नब गोस्वामी ने, तब हम लोगों ने बहुत बड़ा मुहिम कायम किया था, और लोग गिरफ्तार भी हुए थे उसमें, लेकिन दुर्भाग्यवश उस केस में भी एक्विटल मिल गया। तो साक्ष्य के आधार के जबकि तमाम सबूत मौजूद होते हैं, तो लैक ऑफ एविडेंस, लॉ पॉइंट एक शब्द बोला जाता है जुडिशियरी के पार्लेंस में, लॉ पॉइंट के तहत इसे साक्ष्य के आधार के कमी पर इसको रिहा कर दिया गया। तो ये सब बातें होते रहती हैं। तो इन सब सवाल के कटघरे में रहते हैं ये सब, जितने भी बड़े बड़े इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं मीडिया रिपोर्टिंग करती है, लेकिन हमारा काम है रिपोर्ट करना और आवाज़ उठाना, और बाकी जो पुलिस तंत्र है, न्यायपालिका है, वो अपने हिसाब से काम करती है। बैक टू यू।
Right. So what our reporter has been telling us about the echoes of the 2018 killing of his son, Gunjan Khemka, as well. So in 2018, Gopal's son, Gunjan Khemka, he was also shot dead in a similar manner in Hajipur at his cotton bandage factory. And this is in a similar situation that the crime has been committed again. And this time Gopal Khemka has been targeted, and right now an SI.
जो करीबी लोग हैं, जो उनके मित्र हैं, रतन लाल जो जिनसे हमारी बात हुई थी, वो वीडियो बाइट है हमारे पास, हमने ऑन कैमरा बात किया। उन्होंने बताया कि वो हमारे 50 साल के मित्र थे और हम लोग बचपन से जानते थे। कल अंतिम संस्कार किया जाएगा। बेटी लंदन में रहती हैं, पत्नी भी दिल्ली में थी, आज सुबह सुबह पहुंची हैं। उनका एक बेटा और घर में बहू यहाँ पर मौजूद थी पटना में, और वो यहाँ पर हैं अभी, और पत्नी भी आ चुकी हैं। बेटी का इंतज़ार हो रहा है, उसके बाद अंतिम संस्कार किया जाएगा। परिवार वालों का से बातचीत करने का हमें इंतज़ार रहेगा जब वो लोग बात करने की इच्छा प्रकट करें।
All right, so details, more details emerging in the case, and we'll keep tracking those developments from Patna. And viewers, we have breaking news coming in. 19 days after a British F-35B stealth fighter jet made an unscheduled landing at Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram International Airport, now a state-of-the-art aircraft of course remains grounded, and with the field repairs attempts yet to succeed, now the United Kingdom is exploring the option of airlifting the jet aboard a C-17 Globemaster transport aircraft, which is a rare move for a fighter of this class. So it's been more than 19 days that the fighter jet has in fact been grounded at the airport in Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram, and now this very, very important aircraft, which is considered to be the best in the world, is going to be airlifted. We understand that it's also going to be all right. We are right now joined in by Group Captain UK Devnath, who's an aviation expert. Sir, thank you so much for joining us here on Republic TV. Sir, how do you look at this prolonged grounding of the F-35B in Kerala? Because, you know, we consider, and the entire world consider as, you know, it's one of the best in the world's most advanced fighter jet, especially in the terms of reliability, in terms of maintainability during overseas operations. And now it is going to be dismantled, it is going to be airlifted. How do you look at the entire fiasco of it being grounded for so long in India?
Fact is that F-35 remains one of the most maintainable aircraft in world.
Yes.
And difficulty is that it needs a very special type of tools, testers, calibration equipment, repair jig, and ground support equipment for repairing it. USA has made all over world about 11 such locations where F-35 can be maintained by the OEM. That means not by US Air Force, not by, in this case, by UK Navy, but by OEM. These highly sophisticated and rather weighty ground support equipment are not positioned in India, and we don't have laboratories where post-repair the aircraft can be inspected. It needs a little complex calibration equipment, a little complex laboratory facilities to check it after rectification. So rightly so, it has been decided that it will be opened up into 5 parts, which is a usual practice all over the world for fighter aircraft in case they get stranded any remote location. The main fuselage is one, both the left and right wings are opened. Similarly, both the tail part, the horizontal stabilizers in the tail, they are opened, and the vertical tail, which we call rudder, that also is opened. In fact, when USA was developing F-35, one of the prerequisites was given by US Air Force was that it should be dismantled in 5 parts, and it should be the US Air Force crew should be capable of pushing it inside after dismantling inside a C-17. Because US Air Force knew that F-35 will be with them for next 50 years, and C-17 Globemaster also will be there with them for next 50 years. Incidentally, India also has C-17 with us. Yes.
Right, so thank you so much for joining us and giving us those perspectives there. But indeed, there is a big question mark on the reliability of the F-35 as well as its reputation. Let's move on in the bulletin and talk about Prime Minister Modi's five-nation visit. A historic moment unfolded as Prime Minister Modi addressed the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago and strengthening centuries-old ties through shared heritage, culture and vision for the future. This address marked a new chapter in India and Trinidad and Tobago's relationships. Here's a full story.
I'm deeply honored to stand before you, the elected representatives of a proud democracy and a friendly nation. I bring greetings from 1.4 billion people of India. I am humbled to be the first Indian Prime Minister to speak to you in this iconic Red House. This historic red building has seen struggles and sacrifices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for freedom and dignity. Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. There are growing global divisions, disputes, and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health, and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है, हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। Relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries-old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beats blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions, is the guiding vision for the global south. whenever we go, whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve.
Viewers, we are taking a very short break, and after that, after Karnataka's fake caste census sham exposed, BBMP has suspended an officer for negligence in survey sticker pasting task. Also, the big story coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where 36 people have been injured after 5 buses collided in Amarnath Yatra convoy in Ramban. Details on those big stories and much more is lined up after a short break. Stay tuned.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets, which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of intelligence gathering activities.
Viewers, we have breaking news coming in as far as the caste census in Bengaluru is concerned. Now, BBMP has suspended one official for negligence in sticking the posters outside the houses. Now, Kavita, a revenue inspector working in the Vasant Nagara subdivision of the Eastern Zone, has been suspended by the BBMP for alleged dereliction of duty in the scheduled caste survey sticker posting case. Now, census staff was seen, remember, skipping houses, completing the survey at 4 houses in just 10 seconds, and even seen assaulting the residents during the survey. And now, the BBMP has suspended one official for negligence in sticking posters outside the houses. So, the CCTV footage had emerged and the BBMP was under fire because the revenue official was seen dereliction of their duty in connection with the ongoing comprehensive scheduled caste survey, and one of the officers now has been suspended. Let's get all the updates. Abhishek, our colleague, is now joining us live from Bengaluru. Abhishek, now, we were discussing about this CCTV footage that has emerged where the officers are not, seen not doing their duty properly. One of the officers has been suspended in the case. But what does it really say about the census that has been going on and that has been ordered by the Karnataka government?
Well, Aishwarya, it is very clear from the duties or the visuals of the BBMP staff, whatever they are doing until in the last week. We have clearly seen that the BBMP staff have visited the various households located in the city of Bengaluru to paste the posters on the walls of the houses, even without having a conversation with the residents who are in the houses. And they've also not have a conversation. They haven't collected their the data of theirs. And also, we have seen them that the BBMP staff has already pasted a sticker which very clearly mentioned that the caste census with respect to SC/ST has been completed with this particular house, and if there is any other data to be added, a person can scan the QR code is what the sticker very clearly mentions on one hand. On the other hand, when the civilians try to question the BBMP staff of not talking to them to collect the data, we have seen BBMP staff assault the civilians as well. On the other hand, the names of people who are enrolled in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Hyderabad SC/ST lists are also included in the list of BBMP. So this is very clear that the BBMP is doing this caste census survey only for the sake of the government's orders, and also the government is spending at least at around 100 crores on the same caste census survey, whereas at least 10 crores rupees of work should have been done. But at least at this point of time, the civilians are questioning the move of the government, the move of the BBMP, because it is very clear from the intentions or the actions of the BBMP staff that they didn't want to do it because of the pressure that the government has built on them, and it is only because of the pressure that they are doing this survey. This is not scientific, is what the people of the state claim, and also the BJP and the JDS and the opposition hand claim. We will have to wait and see BBMP.
Right, Abhishek, and how are the opposition parties they're reacting? Because, yesterday also we at Republic TV had spoken to the BJP leaders, and they had called it a joke, a sham. So we have to wait and watch how these political parties respond even after one of the BBMP workers has been suspended. And viewers, let's move on in the bulletin now. A stunning twist in the Disha Salian case. But now the Maharashtra government has clarified that no one has been given a clean chit in the case. Now, Minister Shambhu Raj Desai confirmed that only interim findings have been submitted so far, and the final report is still awaited. Now, this means that the investigation is still very much active and nothing has been ruled out. Here's the full story.
It's a case that rocked Bollywood and sparked political tremors across Maharashtra. Now, in a dramatic twist, the Disha Salian death probe is back in the spotlight. Amid swirling speculations and years of silence, the Maharashtra government has now made a big revelation. No one has been given a clean chit yet. Not just that, even the so-called interim report isn't the final word. Maharashtra Minister Shubhanshu Raj Desai, in a big statement, confirmed it.
दिशा सालियन का रिपोर्ट फाइनल नहीं है. अभी गृह राज्य मंत्री से मेरी बात हुई है. वो इंटरिम फाइंडिंग्स है. फाइनल फाइंडिंग्स अभी तक आए नहीं है. और जो इंटरिम भी अगर फाइंडिंग्स दिए, उसमें किसी को भी क्लीन चिट नहीं दी गई है. ऐसा ये जब तक फाइनल रिपोर्ट नहीं आता है, तब तक किसी को क्लीन चिट देने का कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा रहता. जब फाइनल रिपोर्ट आएगा तब इसके बारे में बात. इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑनगोइंग है.
For years, conspiracy theories around Disha Salian's death just days before actor Sushant Singh Rajput's tragic demise have refused to die down. And with the Maharashtra government officially stating the final report is still pending, this could be the beginning of a fresh political and legal storm. The public continues to track every twist, every revelation and every unanswered question in the Disha Salian case.
We are going for a very short break, and coming up ahead, 36 people have been injured after 5 buses collide in Amarnath Yatra convoy in Ramban. Also coming up ahead, sources say that British Navy's F-35 jet stuck in Kerala may be dismantled and airlifted to UK as repairs have failed. A team from the West Asia is set to arrive in Kerala tomorrow. Details on those big stories and much more is lined up after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
His rocket company is the only reason we can now send America astronauts into space. Take over, Elon. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out.
This is not the end of Doge, but really the beginning. My time as a special government employee necessarily had to end. It was a limited time thing. It's 134 days, I believe, which ends in a few days. So that it comes with a time limit.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very good morning, viewers. It's 11 a.m. and you're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Focus is on the Amarnath pilgrims because they've met with an accident. The convoy that they were traveling in collided into another bus. 30 of them have been injured. They have been shifted to the hospital. We'll get you all the live updates after a quick check on the headlines. PM Modi in Argentina. He meets the Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi is the first PM in 57 years to visit Argentina. Patna businessman Gopal Khemka shot dead in Patna outside his residence by unknown miscreants. Union Minister Piyush Goyal issues a big statement on India-US trade deal, says national interest first and not deadline to dictate US deal. After Karnataka's fake caste census sham was exposed, BBMP suspends officer for negligence. "36 injured after 5 buses collide in Amarnath Yatra convoy in Ramban. Injured shifted to the hospital." British Navy's F-35B jet stuck in Kerala. It may be dismantled and airlifted to UK as repairs fail. Team from UK to arrive in Kerala tomorrow. First up, viewers, we have big breaking news coming in from Bijapur in Chhattisgarh, because encounter is currently underway between security forces and Maoists. The encounter has been going on since early this morning in Indravati National Park area bordering Dantewada and Bijapur. 2 Maoist terrorists have been neutralized. It's a big win for our forces in this encounter. 2 Maoist terrorists have been eliminated, and this is the fight against Red Terror. Union Home Minister Amit Shah had vowed to end Red Terror in the next 2 years, within the next 2 years, and now the operation continues in Chhattisgarh, where 2 Maoists have been neutralized. Bharat is also joining us live. Bharat, tell us about this encounter in Bijapur. 2 Maoist terrorists have been killed.
देखिए, मैं आपको बता दूं, जिस इलाके पे मुठभेड़ चल रही है वो पूरा इलाका एक तरीके से इंद्रावती का कोर इलाका कहा जाता है। वो पूरा इलाका एक तरीके से माओवादियों के कब्जे पे है, ऐसा कहा जाता था। लेकिन पुलिस उस इलाके पे पहुंच रही है और लगातार मुंह तोड़ जो जवाब है वो दे रही है। जिस तरीके से जानकारी बाहर निकल के आ रही है, पुलिस की जो एक टुकड़ी है एसटीएफ डीआरजी और जो पुलिस के जो संयुक्त बल है, वो पूरे जिस तरीके से जानकारी उनको मिलती है खुफिया एजेंसियों के द्वारा, उस पूरे इलाके पे, इंद्रावती के इलाके पे माओवादियों की मौजूदगी, यानी नक्सलियों की बड़े नक्सली जो हैं उस इलाके पे मौजूद हैं। बरसात का समय है, बरसात के समय में इंद्रावती एक ऐसा इलाका कहा जाता है जिस इलाके तक पहुंचने के लिए नदी नाले को क्रॉस करना पड़ता है। उस इलाके पे माओवादियों की मौजूदगी थी, यानी नक्सलियों की मौजूदगी थी। बड़ी संख्या में माओवादी जो हैं उस इलाके पे तैनात थे, वहां पे मौजूद थे, जिसकी सूचना पुलिस को मिलती है और जवाबी कार्रवाई के तौर पे एक ऑपरेशन चलाया जाता है, जिस ऑपरेशन में एसटीएफ डीआरजी सहित जो बीजापुर के जो संयुक्त बल है उस इलाके पे निकलते हैं। जब उस इलाके पे निकलते हैं तो उस दरमियान जो माओवादी हैं वो फायरिंग करने की कोशिश करते हैं, लगातार फायरिंग करते हैं, जिसकी जवाबी कार्रवाई के तौर पे पुलिस के जो जवान है लोकेशन लेते हैं, जिसको एलओ कहा जाता है। लोकेशन के तर्ज पे लगातार उस इलाके पे मुठभेड़ जैसी स्थिति देखने को मिलती है। मुंह तोड़ जवाब जो है जवान देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लगातार फायरिंग कर रहे थे, जिसका जो एक सफलता है वो देखने को मिली है। 2 माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर कर दिया है, जिसकी शिनाख्त अभी नहीं हो पाई है। उनके शव को रिकवर किया जाएगा, उसके बाद इसमें विवेचना की जाएगी कितने माओवादी थे, कितने नक्सली थे, कितने घटनाओं पे वो शामिल थे, किन किन घटनाओं पे उनकी सक्रियता देखी जा रही थी, कितनी बड़ी घटनाओं पे वो शामिल थे। इन तमाम विषयों पर चर्चा और विवेचना का विषय, ये प्रश्न का विषय बना रहेगा। हालांकि अभी जो खबर अपडेट जो बाहर निकल के आ रही है, सबसे बड़ी जो अपडेट है, 2 माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर कर दिया है। पुलिस को एक बड़ी सफलता देखी जा रही है। बरसात के समय में भी जो जवान हैं वो रुक नहीं रहे हैं। जिस तरीके से कल गृह मंत्री बीजापुर पहुंचे थे, गृह मंत्री जब बीजापुर पहुंचे थे कल परसों, उस दरमियान उन्होंने कहा था कि हम चाहें तो 1 महीने पे नक्सलवाद समाप्त कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम जवानों के हौसला और उनकी तारीफ, उनकी जो भुजाओं की ताकत है उनमें कोई संदेह नहीं करते। जिस तरीके से वो काम कर रहे हैं, कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं नक्सलियों के खिलाफ शांति वार्ता के लिए, एक वाकई सराहनीय पहल जो है देखी जा रही है। जी,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद भारत हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। With that, viewers, let's shift our focus back to Patna, because assailants, unknown assailants, have shot and have killed a known businessman, a very well-known businessman, Gopal Khemka, and the incident took place in Gandhi Maidan police station area. And what's more to this is that we have accessed the CCTV footage from Gopal Khemka's residence after he was shot at by these assailants. He was immediately admitted to the Mediversal Hospital, but unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries. There you can see how assailants, unknown assailants, running towards Gopal Khemka's car, and they shot at him, and you can see them escaping. That is the killer. There you can see the killer there, who made away on a bike after carrying out the hit job on Gopal Khemka, the businessman. There you can see, viewers, the car that was behind Gopal Khemka's convoy tried to stop the assailant, but unfortunately Gopal Khemka was left in a pool of blood inside his car. The FSL has taken into account the CCTV clippings in the aftermath from in and around this particular vicinity to ascertain who the killer is. But as per the CCTV footage, you can see a man wearing a helmet runs towards Gopal Khemka's car. He shoots at the businessman and then he escapes on his bike. This is exactly what happened last night, and all of this happened right outside Gopal Khemka's residence. There you can see the home caretaker there arriving at the gate without any information as to what happened outside the premises of Gopal Khemka's residence. The CCTV footage will now be analyzed by the SIT, which has been formed to probe the matter. And this is the first clinching CCTV footage that we have, where you can clearly see a bike-borne assailant, one man wearing a helmet, arrives at the car in which Gopal Khemka was traveling in. He shoots at the businessman and he escapes. We have Prakash also joining us live. Prakash, we have that clincher CCTV footage with us. It's on air, and you can see a bike-borne assailant arriving at the gate of Gopal Khemka's residence. And this CCTV footage, Prakash, clearly goes on to show how that the hit job was carried out by just one person who was wearing a helmet. The identity of the assailant remains unknown, and the police are now investigating the matter.
Well, yes, we have ascertained the CCTV footage. Now, the CCTV footage clearly specifies the fact that the vehicle, Gopal Khemka's vehicle, comes from this direction, and thereafter, as and when it reaches this gate, it stops near this gate over here where I'm standing right now, and behind me is the CCTV camera. So once the person shoots, as I was telling you in the earlier broadcast, once the person shoots, that video is not clear because the CCTV camera and this particular pillar blocks the way. The shooting video is not available. But as a matter of fact, I'll ask my camera person to pan in a different direction. This is the area from where the assailant was standing. He was standing here, right here. He was standing here, and as and when he saw the vehicle coming from that direction, he walks in and goes there on the gate, shoots, and then takes the exit route from this particular road leading towards Gandhi Maidan. So this is the area, but the exact picture of the assailant is not yet known. And it makes an exit towards the Gandhi Maidan and then takes the left turn. So there are other CCTV footages that has to be ascertained to identify, to get a clear identification of the assailant, who is the person concerned. But one thing is clear, that only one person was there who had shot Gopal Khemka, and there were other people also be involved, because there would be a messenger also who would be involved, because the message would have been passed to the assailant that Gopal Khemka would be arriving. You have to wait and watch, and as and when he is traveling in so-and-so car, this color car, and as and when the car reaches the gate, he walks near the gate very easily and then shoots. We can see in the visual that how the gate man comes, and then a car was there behind Gopal Khemka's vehicle. He also makes a desperate attempt to get hold of the culprit, but the police is ascertaining the visuals as of now, of different visuals of the main road leading towards Gandhi Maidan, as well as other CCTV footage. So we'll wait and watch to ascertain ascertain the exact identification of the culprit, and then thereafter the police has conducted an SIT team to nab the culprit, and the exact region would be known then. But it appears that there would be some animosity, there would be some business conflict. That is why this incident has taken place. But it has raised a serious question mark on the law and order situation in Bihar, and serious question mark on the law and order, the USP of Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, and opposition leader already questioning the Bihar government as well as the NDA government and terming it as Mahajangal Raj in Bihar as far as this murder of a noted businessman yesterday late night is concerned. Back to you.
Right, Prakash, thank you for joining us with those details. Well, those were the insights that my colleague, who was trying to explain what exactly happened by recreating the crime scene on camera for us, just 2 cars away from Gopal Khemka's arriving convoy. A man, an unknown assailant who was waiting there on his bike with his helmet on. As soon as he saw Gopal Khemka's car arrive, he ran towards the windshield, he shot at the businessman, and then he escaped on the bike. Prima facie, this looks like a contract killing, but the police are now determined to get to the bottom of the case. We'll have to wait and watch what transpires in the investigation. Moving on, viewers, a historic moment has unfolded as Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, strengthening centuries-old ties through shared heritage, culture, and also vision for the future. And this address marks a new chapter in the bilateral ties. Here's a complete story.
I'm deeply honored to stand before you, the elected representatives of a proud democracy and a friendly nation. I bring greetings from 1.4 billion people of India. I am humbled to be the first Indian Prime Minister to speak to you in this iconic Red House. This historic red building has seen struggles and sacrifices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for freedom and dignity. Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. There are growing global divisions, disputes, and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health, and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है, हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। Relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beats blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions, is the guiding vision for the global south. Whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve.
Just moving on to some shocking incident coming to light. Last evening in Jahaspur, a youth crashed his car into a cart of a person selling vegetables, and enraged by this, the people around that particular location beat him to death. The people, enraged mob, gathered outside Jahaspur police station. They started protesting as well after the murder of a youth. At the same time, MLA Gopichand Meena, along with the Superintendent of Police Dharmendra Singh Yadav, also reached the spot. People have demanded the arrest of the accused and warned of a fierce agitation. What started off as a minor road accident has now set the entire town in a frenzy, because a young man was beaten to death in broad daylight by a furious mob on the street, and now people have erupted in protest. We have Vaibhav also joining us live on this broadcast, and Vaibhav is en route Bhilwara. Vaibhav, a very good morning to you. Tell us what exactly happened in Jahaspur yesterday, and why was this youth beaten to death?
ये भीलवाड़ा का जहाजपुर इलाका है जिस इलाके में ये पूरा प्रकरण हुआ है। महत्वपूर्ण ये है क्योंकि अब तक के ये सवाल था कि ये घटनाक्रम पूरा कैसे घटा, कैसे इस शख्स को लोगों ने कार से उतारा और वहां पर हुआ क्या था। ये वो तमाम सवाल थे जिन सवालों पर अब पूर्ण विराम लग चुका है, क्योंकि ये जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज सामने आया है इसमें बिल्कुल साफ देखा जा सकता है कि कैसे एक व्हाइट कलर की कार एक ठेले को टक्कर मारती है और टक्कर मारने के बाद इन लोगों में आपस में बहस होती है कि तभी वहां पर मौजूद भीड़ जो है वो इस शख्स को कार से बाहर निकालती है, उसे गेट खोलकर बाहर खींचती है और सीताराम नाम के शख्स की जो है वो पीट पीट कर हत्या कर दी जाती है। देर शाम पुलिस थाने के बाहर भी हमने देखा कैसे लोग जो है वो प्रदर्शन कर रहे थे और उनकी सिर्फ यही मांग थी कि जितने भी लोग इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में, इस पूरे इंसिडेंट में शामिल हैं, उन सभी लोगों पर सख्त एक्शन लिया जाए। लेकिन अब ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज जो इस पूरी कहानी को बिल्कुल साफ बताता है, इस फुटेज के सामने आने के बाद लोगों में आक्रोश अब और भी ज्यादा बढ़ गया है कि कैसे कैसे एक उन्मादी भीड़ एक शख्स की जान ले सकती है, कैसे एक भीड़ एक शख्स को कार के गेट खोलकर उससे बाहर जबरन खींचती है, उसे इतना मारती है कि उस शख्स की मौत हो जाती है। लोग अब इस वक्त अस्पताल के बाहर मौजूद हैं, प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। भीलवाड़ा के जहाजपुर का ये पूरा इलाका इस वक्त जो है वो कहीं ना कहीं से प्रदर्शन की आवाजों से गूंजता हुआ नजर आ रहा है और प्रशासन की भी कोशिश ये है कि इस सीसीटीवी फुटेज के जरिए उन तमाम चेहरों को दीपक आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए, उन चेहरों तक पहुंचा जाए जिन्होंने इस पूरी लिंचिंग को अंजाम दिया है, क्योंकि एक भीड़ एक हिंसक भीड़ का शक्ल ले लेती है और दीपक एक शख्स की पीट कर हत्या कर देती है और इतना मारती है उस शख्स को कि उसकी मौत हो जाती है। इस पूरे मामले के बीच हिंदू संगठन भी है जिनका यह कहना है कि इस मामले में जितने भी दोषी हैं उन सभी दोषियों पर सख्त एक्शन हो, उन सभी दोषियों को आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए, वो कौन लोग थे, वहां पर किस इंटेंशन के साथ पहुंचे थे, सीताराम को उन्होंने क्यों मारा, सीताराम के साथ क्या उनके पहले से भी कोई दुश्मनी थी।
बहुत सारे एंगल्स आर नाउ अंडर लेंस, बट बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू मोर ब्रेकिंग न्यूज दैट्स कमिंग इन. सर्च operations have been launched in Kathua district after communication set of suspected terrorists was intercepted. Jammu Kashmir Police, Indian Army along with CRPF are carrying out searches in the area, and this after a communication set of suspected terrorists were intercepted by our forces. There you can see in the upper reaches of the forest area in Kishtwar, the search operations are currently underway. Gursimran is live with us. Gursimran, what's the status update from the search operation site? Have the forces made any headway?
See, as to speak, the search operations are underway in the upper reaches of Najot, which is close to the Sukrala Mata temple in the Bilawar area of Kathua. It was yesterday late afternoon what we are being told that an intercept was made by the security forces. This was with regarding the communication set, the satellite communication of the suspected terrorist that was opened in the area and was intercepted by the Indian Army, after which the information was shared with the ground commanders, and Jammu and Kashmir Police along with the Indian Army and the CRPF is carrying out the search operations. This area has a past history of the terror incidents that have been reported in last 5 to 6 months, including one of the deadliest encounters in which 2 Jaish terrorists were killed, but 4 brave hearts of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, they also made the supreme sacrifice. So keeping that in view, the security forces are leaving nothing and chance, and also the regular movement of the terrorists in this very area, those who have infiltrated from the international border area, that is being considered by the security forces, and the large-scale operations are underway in the upper reaches of Kathua as we speak, and the forces are trying to pinpoint the locations from where the intercept was actually generated.
That's right, Gursimran. Thank you for joining us with those details. The operations are currently underway. The forces are now combing through the forest and the manhunt is on. Now moving on, viewers, to a major accident that was reported from Jammu and Kashmir's Ramban district, where multiple buses ferrying the Amarnath Yatra pilgrims collided near the Chandarkote area, and dozens of pilgrims were injured in the mishap. Rescue teams acted swiftly and all the injured have been shifted to the hospital. Here's a quick report on that.
A convoy of Amarnath Yatra buses met with an accident in Ramban. 5 buses collided near the Chandarkot Langar site. The accident happened due to brake failure in one of the buses. 6 Yatris were injured in the pile-up incident. Police and health teams rushed to the site immediately. Rescue and relief operations were quickly launched. Injured pilgrims were shifted to District Hospital Ramban. The buses were part of the Pahalgam-bound Amarnath Yatra convoy. Authorities are investigating the cause of the brake failure. The Yatra continues with additional safety checks in place.
The number of people that have been injured has risen to 36. That is what we are getting the confirmation from the officials of the Jammu and Kashmir government, that there have been 36 injuries to the pilgrims that were travelling in these buses that were heading from the Bhagwati Nagar base camp of Jammu to the Pahalgam base of the Amarnath Yatra. These Pahalgam bound buses, they were actually at halt at the Langar site in the Chandrakot when one of the bus that was approaching them, the driver lost the control. Possibly what is being said is due to the mechanical failure, the brake failure that has taken place, and he collided with 4 other buses in which the driver of the bus, he has some head injuries, we are told, and other 35 passengers have also been injured. So we spoke to the officials in the J&K government. They are telling us that all of the injureds, they are out of danger. There have not been any serious injuries is what they are telling us, and now what is happening, that the injureds are being treated, and very soon the alternate buses arrangement will be made, and these 36 passengers will too be sent to the Pahalgam base camp.
On that note, viewers, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll tell you about the Karnataka caste census sham. A revenue inspector has been suspended by the BBMP, and along with this, we'll also tell you about the F-35B, a UK naval fighter jet which is stranded in Kerala, will be repatriated tomorrow when the UK team arrives. Stay tuned.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet, or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of intelligence gathering activities were on earlier also, but they were not very organized on military scale. You see, earlier we had some satellites which ISRO had launched. We had cartograph series of satellites. We had RISAT.
PM Modi arrives in Argentina, meets Indian diaspora. PM Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Argentina in 57 years. Businessman Gopal Khemka shot dead in Patna outside his residence by unknown assailant. Union Minister Piyush Goyal's big statement on India-US trade deal says national interest and not deadline to dictate US deal. After Karnataka's fake caste census sham was exposed, BBMP suspends officer for negligence in the exercise. 36 injured after 5 buses collide in Amarnath Yatra convoy in Ramban. Injured shifted to hospital. British Navy's F-35B fighter jet stuck in Kerala. It will be likely to be dismantled and airlifted to UK as repairs fail. A team from UK is all set to arrive in Kerala tomorrow. A very good morning, viewers. It's 11:30 and you're watching Republic TV. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Focus is on the BBMP because the BBMP's sham of a caste census survey has now attracted action. A revenue inspector has been suspended for negligence in the entire exercise. Kavita, a revenue inspector working in Vasant Nagar subdivision of the eastern zone of the BBMP, has been suspended for alleged dereliction of duty in the scheduled caste survey. And we also have videos of how BBMP staffers are seen pasting the caste survey sticker completed on the houses of Bengaluru without even speaking to the residents, without filling any form, without following any protocol. Stickers were pasted, and BBMP workers, as you can see, had also assaulted one of the residents for questioning them about the survey. The BBMP, instead of responding to the resident and also clarifying why they have not followed protocols, they are seen beating up this man on the right side of your screens. There you can see how the BBMP is trying to cover up when questioned. And when this entire sham was exposed by Republic, only then the BBMP has now acted upon this particular case, and a revenue inspector identified as Kavita has been suspended for dereliction of duty. There you can see, viewers, it's not just a case of one or two houses, but dozens of these houses had stickers on them which were pasted by the BBMP workers. And what's even more shocking is that the stickers claimed that the caste census survey was complete, but in reality, nothing was done. Residents were not questioned, there were no forms that were filled, no protocols were followed, and there was no caste census that was done. Moving on, in a stunning twist in the Disha Salyan case, the Maharashtra government has now clarified, saying that no one has been given a clean sheet. In fact, Minister Shambhuraj Desai also confirmed that only interim findings were submitted and the final report is still awaited. So this means that the investigation is very much alive and active and nothing has been ruled out. Here's the complete report.
It's a case that rocked Bollywood and sparked political tremors across Maharashtra. Now, in a dramatic twist, the Disha Salyan death probe is back in the spotlight. Amid swirling speculations and years of silence, the Maharashtra government has now made a big revelation: no one has been given a clean chit yet. Not just that, even the so-called interim report isn't the final word. Maharashtra Minister Subhanshu Raj Desai, in a big statement, confirmed it.
दिशा सालियन का रिपोर्ट फाइनल नहीं है। अभी गृह राज्य मंत्री से मेरी बात हुई है, वो इंटरिम फाइंडिंग्स है, फाइनल फाइंडिंग्स अभी तक आए नहीं है। और जो इंटरिम भी अगर फाइंडिंग्स दिए, उसमें किसी को भी क्लीन चिट नहीं दी गई है। ऐसा ये जब तक फाइनल रिपोर्ट नहीं आता है, तब तक किसी को क्लीन चिट देने का कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा रहता। जब फाइनल रिपोर्ट आएगा, तब इसके बारे में बात। इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑनगोइंग है।
For years, conspiracy theories around Disha Salyan's death just days before actor Sushant Singh Rajput's tragic demise have refused to die down. And with the Maharashtra government officially stating the final report is still pending, this could be the beginning of a fresh political and legal storm. The public continues to track every twist, every revelation and every unanswered question in the Disha Salyan case.
Moving on, viewers, an assistant executive engineer from Jal Shakti department has gone missing under mysterious circumstances in Jammu and Kashmir's Ramban district. His vehicle was found abandoned near the Chenab river, triggering a search operation. Here's a quick report.
An assistant executive engineer goes missing in Ramban. Missing officer identified as Parvez Ahmed Wani. Wani was posted in the Goul subdivision of Ramban. His car was found abandoned near the Chenab river. Vehicle was discovered parked along the river banks. Security forces and local teams rushed to the spot. A major search operation has been launched in the area. circumstances around the disappearance remain suspicious. Authorities are exploring all possible angles. The incident has raised serious concerns in the region.
Moving on to breaking news from Bijapur, encounter is underway between security forces and Maoist terrorists, and the encounter is going on since morning in Indravati National Park area bordering Dantewada and Bijapur. 2 Maoist terrorists have been neutralized. It's a big win for our forces as the encounter is still underway. The fight against red terror continues on a war footing, and joint forces who are locked in an encounter with the Maoist terrorists have successfully eliminated 2 of them, and the encounter is still underway in the Indravati National Park area bordering Dantewada and Bijapur. We have Bharat is joining us live from Bijapur. Bharat, tell us about the latest update from the encounter site.
देखिए बिल्कुल मैं आपको बता दूं, जिस तरीके से जहां इनकाउंटर चल रही है वो पूरा इलाका एक तरीके से माओवादियों का, एक तरीके से उनकी जनाधार वाला इलाका कहा जाता था इंद्रावती। उस इलाके पे यानी पहुंचना पुलिस को चुनौती होती थी, लेकिन बरसात के समय अगर माओवादियों के किले में अगर जवान पहुंच रहे हैं तो स्वाभाविक सी बात है जो 31 मार्च 2026 तक जो डेडलाइन तय किया गया, देश के जो गृह मंत्री है अमित शाह ने जो डेडलाइन तय किया गया है, जिसके तर्ज पे जो ऑपरेशन चलाए जा रहे हैं वाकई काबिल तारीफ है। क्योंकि जिस तरीके से जिस इलाके पे यानी इंद्रावती वो इलाका कहा जाता है जिस इलाके पे पहुंचने के लिए बड़ी जद्दोजहद करनी पड़ती है, सामान्य आदमी, शहर का आदमी या सामान्य सिविलियंस भी उस इलाके पे नहीं पहुंच सकता बरसात के समय में। नदी नाले उफान पर है, ऐसे जो जिला मुख्यालय का जो संपर्क है इंद्रावती से टूट जाता है। ऐसे में ऐसे विषम परिस्थितियों में अगर जवान उस इलाके पे पहुंच रहे हैं तो वाकई जिस तरीके से गृह मंत्री ने डेडलाइन तय किया है उसके तर्ज पर ऑपरेशन चलाया जा रहा है। 1 नहीं 2 नहीं 2 माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर किया है। ये पूरी कार्रवाई की अगर बात की जाए तो एसटीएफ, डीआरजी और इनकी संयुक्त जो ऑपरेशन थी, इस ऑपरेशन पे एक बड़ी सफलता मिली है। हालांकि 100 को रिकॉर्ड कर दिया गया है। जवान जो है उस इलाके पे से आ रहे हैं और लगातार जो उनकी वापसी हो रही है और उस इलाके पे सग्र जो है वो भी तेज कर दी गई है। बताया जा रहा है कि बड़ी इनपुट मिली थी, छोटी मोटी इनपुट नहीं थी, बड़ी इनपुट मिली थी। इस इनपुट के आधार पे ही इस ऑपरेशन को चलाया गया था और इस ऑपरेशन में बड़ी सफलता मिली है। 2 माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर किया है। हालांकि इस पूरे ऑपरेशन पे पुलिस के जो उच्च अधिकारी हैं, बीजापुर एसपी डॉक्टर जितेंद्र यादव की अगर बात की जाए, वहीं आईपीएस मयंक गुर्जर की अगर बात की जाए, इस पूरे ऑपरेशन पर निगरानी रखी जा रही है कि क्या क्या स्थितियां उस इलाके पे निर्मित हो रही है। जवानों की भुजाओं की ताकत की बार बार तारीफ की जाती है छत्तीसगढ़ के गृह मंत्री के द्वारा।
The encounter is still underway, viewers, and Bharat is reporting from very close to that particular encounter site. And as he mentioned, it is a stronghold of the Maoist terrorists, but our forces are unfazed. 2 of the Maoist terrorists have been eliminated so far. Now let's get you the quick updates from across the nation in Bharat in 1 minute.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Security has been tightened for the Bahuda Yatra. 100 police platoons, Rapid Action Force, Odisha Rapid Action Force and Coast Guard have been deployed. High security measures have been taken to avoid any untoward incident. Celebrations lined up as Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama will celebrate his 90th birthday. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju also on the list of attendees. Flash floods across Mandi. Locals rush to the aid of the affected families with ration and first aid kits. CM Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu announced relief and packages worth 5,000 for rental assistance. Commissioner of Police Gurpreet Singh Bullar busted Pakistan-Malaysian drug ring in Amritsar. The network from Dubai to Pakistan is still being investigated. Recovered Glock pistols and heroin. 6 arrested for other drugs and Hawala Nexus. RJD's Mrutyunjay Tiwari took a dig at Bihar. CM claimed that the state has descended into lawlessness after a businessman was shot dead outside his apartment. Moving on to some more updates coming in from Srinagar, where the police has attached a residential property worth approximately 1.5 crore rupees under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or the UAPA. The property located in Mir Masjid Mohalla in Shalabag, Khanyar is recorded in the name of Mohammad Yusuf Shah. and is currently possessed by Masood Hussain Shah. Investigation revealed that the property was acquired through illegal proceeds linked to terror activities. Another terror associate's property has been attached by the Jammu and Kashmir police after they found out that the property was acquired by the proceeds of crime, the proceeds of terror funding and terror activities. Gursimran is joining us live. Gursimran, tell us about this latest crackdown by Jammu and Kashmir police. Another terror associate's property has been attached. What prompted this action?
See, it is in the Mir Masjid Mohalla of the Isharabad Khaniyar where the Jammu and Kashmir police has acted, and under the section 25 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, after getting the court's order, the decision has been taken to attach this property. The property that belonged to Muhammad Yusuf Shah and is presently being acquired by his son Masood Hussain Shah has been attached by the Jammu and Kashmir police. The attachment was done early this morning, and it has been a total of 1.5 crore property that has been acquired from the proceeds of the terrorism that has been one of the instrumental weapon of these terror proxies, that how they acquire the money from the terror activities by supporting terror activities, and then they flourish by buying properties and investing it here and there. That has now been busted with the Jammu and Kashmir police attaching this property. We are told that it is 8 marla and 202 square feet of the land that has now been attached by the Srinagar police as part of its effort to totally wipe out the ecosystem of the terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, especially those who are surviving on the money that is being sent and given by the Pakistani proxies so as to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir. But now the property has been attached and the further course of action will follow.
Right, Gursimran, thank you for joining us with those insights. Moving on, viewers, let's shift our focus quickly to the Prime Minister's Trinidad and Tobago visit, because he has concluded that visit. He's currently in Argentina, but let's tell you about the historic moment that unfolded, because the Prime Minister addressed the Parliament in Trinidad and Tobago, strengthening the centuries-old ties through shared heritage, culture and vision for the future. The address of the Prime Minister marked a new chapter in the bilateral relations. Here's more.
I'm deeply honored to stand before you, the elected representatives of a proud democracy and a friendly nation. I bring greetings from 1.4 billion people of India. I'm humbled to be the first Indian Prime Minister to speak to you in this iconic Red House. This historic red building has seen struggles and sacrifices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for freedom and dignity. Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. There are growing global divisions, disputes and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है। हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। Relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beats blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions is the guiding vision for the global south. Whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve.
Time for a quick break, viewers. On the other side, we'll tell you about the BBMP suspending its revenue inspector over the Karnataka caste census sham. Along with that, we'll also tell you about the F-35 British jet that is stranded in Kerala. It may be dismantled and airlifted to UK as soon as the team arrives tomorrow. Stay tuned.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
This rocket company is the only reason we can now send America astronauts into space. Take over, Elon. But Elon's very upset that the EV...
Welcome back, viewers. A major breakthrough in the decades-old Assam-Meghalaya border dispute. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has announced the signing of a memorandum of understanding which clearly defines the boundaries between the two states. A big step towards lasting resolution completely encapsulated in this report.
In a major step towards resolving the decades-old border dispute between Assam and Meghalaya, Assam CM announced that the first boundary pillar has been erected in one of the previously contested areas along the interstate boundary. Sarma on Friday announced the signing of MOU to define boundaries between Assam and Meghalaya. In a post on social media X, the CM wrote that the signed MOU would help people and administration have clarity on the jurisdiction and would also allow the governance to shine in the once grey areas. Preston Tinsong, while speaking to Republic exclusively, lauded the move.
The historic moment for Meghalaya and Assam, and it will also be a good news to all our neighboring states among ourselves, and I'm very sure we will be able to resolve it one by one. And as I said to you, the credit goes to the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam and also the Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, who has taken this bold initiative to make sure that the solution to the long pending issue is resolved.
With the signing of the MOU and the erection of the first boundary pillar, Assam and Meghalaya are taking significant steps towards resolving their decades-old border dispute.
Moving on, Union Minister of Commerce and Trade Piyush Goyal has asserted that India will not sign a trade deal based on a timeline but set its own terms to negotiate an agreement. His comments came ahead of July 9th deadline when the pause on retaliatory tariffs will expire. Listen in.
भारत अपने शर्तों पर चर्चा करता है, अलग अलग देशों के साथ चर्चा चल रही है, यूरोपियन यूनियन हो, न्यूजीलैंड हो, ओमान हो, यूएसए हो, चिली हो, पेरू हो, कई देशों के साथ एग्रीमेंट की बात चल रही है। फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट तभी संभव होता है जब दो तरफा फायदा हो। इट शुड बी अ विन विन एग्रीमेंट, और जब भारत के इंटरेस्ट को संरक्षित रखते हुए नेशनल इंटरेस्ट विल ऑलवेज बी सुप्रीम, वो ध्यान में रखते हुए अच्छा अगर डील बनती है तो भारत तो विकसित देशों के साथ डील करने के लिए कभी भी तैयार है। भारत कभी कोई ट्रेड डील डेडलाइन या समय सीमा के आधार पर कभी नहीं करता है। जब डील अच्छी बन जाए, पूरी तरीके से पक जाए और देश हित में हो, तब उसको हम स्वीकार करते हैं।
Time for a quick break. Viewers, on the other side, we'll tell you about what's on the table in Argentina as the Prime Minister has arrived there after his Trinidad and Tobago visit. Along with that, we'll also tell you about the businessman who was shot dead in Patna. CCTV footage has been accessed. Stay tuned for more details on the other side.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth what they are doing towards their military assets, which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet, or even in depth in China. Similarly, in case there is a war, Pakistan Navy or PLA Navy may operate from Indian Ocean region to cause damage to our coastal installations, both military as well as civilian. So we would like to know well in advance what they are up to. These kind of a
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
His rocket company is the only reason we can now send America.
This week on Get Me Right, we put a searchlight on the plight of the Hindu community of Sindh in Pakistan. Their daily struggles just to be able to survive amid abductions, conversions and targeting of their women. Also, is China deliberately hitting India's food security by squeezing the supply of specialty fertilizers amid Kharif season? And if yes, do we have a way out? Is an experiment with genetically modified crops worth a shot to increase India's agricultural output? Join me this weekend only on Republic TV.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. It's 12 noon and the top story that we are tracking at this hour is the death of Gopal Khemka, who's been shot dead outside his residence in Patna. We'll be getting you all the updates on that big story and much more in the next half an hour. Here are the headlines first. Businessman Gopal Khemka shot dead in Patna outside his residence by unknown miscreants. British Navy's F-35 jet stuck in Kerala may be dismantled and airlifted to UK as repairs failed. A team from West Asia set to arrive in Kerala tomorrow. Prime Minister Modi in Argentina meets Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi, first Indian Prime Minister in 57 years to visit the country. Security forces launch a search operation in Kathua. Suspected terrorist movement detected. After Karnataka's fake caste census, a sham exposed, BBMP suspends one officer for negligence in survey sticker pasting task. Viewers, tune in to our Positive Influencer program where we celebrate the power of good vibes and uplifting stories. We are on the hunt for talented individuals who are making a difference in their communities, and we want you to be a part of it. So drop in your videos showcasing your passion, creativity and positive impact, and you could be featured on our show. Whether you are a student, an artist, an activist, or simply someone with a heart of gold, we want to hear from you. So join our mission to amplify the good, share the love and inspire a wave of positivity across the nation. So send us your videos now and get ready to shine on the Positive Influencer program. And viewers, we have breaking news coming in right now. The workers of Raj Thakre's party MNS have vandalized Sushil Kedia's office. MNS party workers have pelted the stone. So those visuals are coming in from Maharashtra, and this you can see the workers there vandalizing Sushil Kedia's office. And these are the MNS workers, and the vandalization is taking place there. So visuals.
ठाकरे एक साथ आने वाले हैं, उसी इलाके में ये ऑफिस है और वहाँ पे मन से कार्यकर्ता पहुँचे, नारेबाजी किया और नारेबाजी करने के बाद पत्थर फेंक कर वहाँ से निकल गए। ये जो वीडियो भी बनाया गया है मन से कार्यकर्ताओं द्वारा बनाया गया है। कहीं न कहीं लगातार ये कोशिश किया जा रहा है कि धमकाने की कोशिश किया जा रहा है जो हिंदी और मराठी का विवाद है महाराष्ट्र में। कहीं न कहीं जिस तरह से उत्तर भारतीयों को टारगेट किया जा रहा है, मीरा रोड में एक राजस्थानी व्यापारी को मारा गया और आज जिस तरह से केडिया के ऑफिस के बाहर पत्थरबाजी किया गया, कहीं न कहीं लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को लेकर कहीं न कहीं सवाल खड़े हो रहा है। महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री ने कल ही कहा था कि अगर भाषा को लेकर कोई भी कानून हाथ में लेता है तो कहीं न कहीं उसके ऊपर कड़ी कार्रवाई किया जाएगा, लेकिन मन से कार्यकर्ताओं ने कहीं न कहीं उस कानून को देख नहीं रहे हैं और कहीं न कहीं पत्थरबाजी कर रहे हैं। जी।
So what we are witnessing is that MNS workers have vandalized the office of businessman Sushil Kedia, and this is after it was written on his X-frame that I will not learn Marathi, and that is what prompted the MNS workers to vandalize the office of Mumbai-based investor Sushil Kedia. So Sushil Kedia in his social media post had recently stated that he will not learn Marathi.
हुआ था, उसके बाद कहेंगे पूरा विवाद बढ़ा और व्यापारी संघ के द्वारा प्रोटेस्ट किया गया, पूरा मेरा रोड बंद रहा है। लेकिन जिस तरह से ये विवाद है सुशील केडिया के ऑफिस में जिस तरह से पत्थरबाजी किया गया, ये विवाद ये है कि जिस तरह से सुशील ने ट्वीट किया कि हम यहाँ महाराष्ट्र में रहते हैं, गुजराती जानते हैं, हिंदी जानते हैं, इंग्लिश जानते हैं, लेकिन मराठी अब हम नहीं सीखेंगे। लगातार हमें जो दबाव बनाया जा रहा है कि मराठी सीखो, मराठी हम नहीं सीखने वाले क्योंकि इतने साल यहाँ रह चुके हैं, अब मराठी हम सीख नहीं सकते। इसके बाद कहेंगे ये विवाद बढ़ा और कल शाम को ही मुंबई पुलिस को वहाँ टीम थी और मुंबई पुलिस की टीम आज सुबह नहीं थी वहां, क्योंकि जो वर्ली इलाका है, वर्ली इलाके में आज जो है राज ठाकरे और उद्धव ठाकरे का कार्यक्रम हो रहा है, जो मराठी विजय रैली मनाया जा रहा है, जहां पे राज ठाकरे उद्धव ठाकरे एक साथ आने वाले हैं। वही पास में ऑफिस है और वहां पे मन से कार्यकर्ता पहुंचे और जो गेट है, जो केडिया ऑफिस का गेट है, वहां पे पत्थरबाजी किए और नारे किए। फिलहाल पुलिस पहुंची हुई है, वहां से मन से कार्यकर्ता।
All right, so those visuals where we can see the MNS workers vandalizing the office of Sushil Kedia, who's a high-profile investor and a businessman, and this after he posted on his X handle that he will not learn Marathi, and he had also sought police protection in the case. All right, let's shift our focus to the Patna murder, and the CCTV footage has now surfaced after the chilling murder of Gopal Khemka, a well-known businessman from Bihar. Now, Khemka was shot dead by a man outside his home in Patna on Friday night, and the CCTV clip is now showing a man wearing a blue shirt and a black helmet standing outside Khemka's home. And in a few seconds, 2 cars arrived. This is what is seen in the CCTV footage. They are waiting for the guard to open the iron gate. And this is the CCTV footage that has arrived. And the first car was driven by Khemka himself, while the second car behind him was driven by another man. As Khemka was waiting, the accused ran towards him and shot him in his car and then fled from the scene on his bike. So the CCTV footage is clearly showing the incident that happened outside his residence. Let's listen in to what the police had to say about the incident.
4 तारीख की रात में 11 बजे के आसपास गांधी मैदान के साउथ एरिया में यह सूचना मिली है कि अपार्टमेंट के सामने जो बिजनेसमैन है गोपाल खेमका जी, उनको चोट लगने से गोली लगने से मृत्यु हो गई है। जैसे इसकी सूचना पुलिस को मिली है हॉस्पिटल में, तो वहां पे पुलिस पहुंच गई थी। यहां पे सीन को सिक्योर किया गया है और बाकी की जांच पड़ताल की जा रही है। कैमरा से इत्यादि खंगाले जा रहे हैं और बाकी की कार्रवाई आगे की जाएगी।
Police are there giving information about the death of businessman Gopal Khemka, who was shot dead outside his residence in Patna. And the police investigation is right now continuing. The incident took place near the Panache Hotel in the Gandhi Maidan police station area. And he was on his way home when the incident happened. Now, the CCTV footage has emerged. Republic TV has gotten an access to that footage, which clearly shows the incident that led to ultimately the death of Gopal Khemka, he being shot dead outside his residence. And what we do know at this moment is that police have also recovered 1 bullet and a shell case also from the crime scene. The CCTV footage has also been accessed by the police. And further investigations are underway at the moment. The area has been cordoned off as well. So, talking about the incident there that took place on Friday night. And remember, this also coming in a few years after his son was also killed in a similar manner. And his son was... All right, our colleague Prakash is joining us from Patna for more details. Prakash, what updates are appearing? Because, we have got the CCTV footage. The Republic TV has gotten the access to the CCTV footage as well. Now, what is the police saying? Because we understand that 1 bullet as well as a shell has also been recovered by the police.
Well, yes, the SIT team has started investigating into all the angles of the investigation. They have recovered the CCTV footage, the CCTV camera behind me. They have ascertained the video of that, which we are showing on television channels. That one shooter is shooting from point-blank range at Gopal Khemka, and thereafter he runs away on a bike. Now, the exact identity of that person is not yet known. Various CCTV footages on the roads leading to Gandhi Maidan and this area is also being ascertained and verified, so that the exact picture and the visual of that person could be located, since he was wearing a helmet and the bike. The number of the that particular vehicle could also be located. Now, what could be the possible reason for the murder of Gopal Khemka is a question. He had multiple business interests, including healthcare, petrol pumps, real estate, land deals. So was there any animosity? That is the question, because earlier in 2018 his son was also murdered in Hajipur, 35 kilometers away from this particular spot. Then there was a firing incident that took place on his older brother, as well as a firing had also taken place on his younger son. So now Gopal Khemka is survived by his younger son, daughter-in-law and wife. Wife reached Patna from Delhi today morning, and it's a cold-blooded murder which has raised serious questions on the deteriorating law and order situation in Bihar, and opposition training guns on Nitish Kumar's law and order situation, as well as the governance in Bihar. So it's going to be a big talking point as far as the Bihar Assembly elections are concerned. Back to you.
Absolutely. This incident happening just ahead of the assembly elections in the state of Bihar. Thank you so much for those updates there. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that big story that we are bringing to you. Meanwhile, let's now shift focus to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's five-nation visit. Prime Minister Modi has arrived at Buenos Aires on a two-day visit. But earlier, a historic moment really unfolded as Prime Minister Modi addressed the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Strengthening a centuries-old ties through shared heritage, culture and vision for the future, his address marked a new chapter in India and Trinidad and Tobago's bilateral relationship. Here is the full story.
I'm deeply honored to stand before you, the elected representatives of a proud democracy and a friendly nation. I bring greetings from 1.4 billion people of India. I am humbled to be the first Indian Prime Minister to speak to you in this iconic Red House. This historic red building has seen struggles and sacrifices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for freedom and dignity. Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. There are growing global divisions, disputes and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है, हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। Relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries-old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beads blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions, is the guiding vision for the global south. Whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve.
And viewers, we have more news from Jammu and Kashmir, where an assistant executive engineer from the Jal Shakti department has gone missing under mysterious circumstances in Ramban district. Now, his vehicle was found abandoned near the Chenab river, triggering a search operation. Here is a 1-minute report.
An assistant executive engineer goes missing in Ramban. Missing officer identified as Parvez Ahmed Wani. Wani was posted in the Goul subdivision of Ramban. His car was found abandoned near the Chenab river. Vehicle was discovered parked along the river banks. Security forces and local teams rushed to the spot. A major search operation has been launched in the area. Circumstances around the disappearance remain suspicious. Authorities are exploring all possible angles. The incident has raised serious concerns in the region.
Breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where a terror hideout has been busted by the J&K police and the Indian Army in Poonch district. Now, 3 grenades and a huge cache of arms and ammunition have been recovered from the site, and the recovery was made from the Sirankota area of Poonch. As far as the huge cache of ammunition that has been recovered, there are 14 AK rounds, 6 pistol rounds, 5 pencil cells, a wire cutter, a multi-data cable connector, a multi-purpose knife, a common iron rod, and a paint raw box has also been recovered. So, terror hideout busted by the joint operation of the J&K police and the Indian Army. This is happening in the Poonch district, where a lot of recovery has been made. This is the Surankot area of Poonch. Huge cache of arms and ammunition have been recovered. Let's get all the updates from Gursimran, my colleague who's joining us live from Jammu. Gursimran, what details can you provide us about this terror hideout that has been busted in Poonch?
See, what we are picking up that it was based on intelligence input that was generated by the Jammu and Kashmir Police along with the sister intelligence agencies, and based on that the recovery has been made jointly by the Jammu and Kashmir Police and the Indian Army. This includes 3 grenades that were kept there as part of some terror plan that was to be executed by the terrorists at a later stage, but before they could execute this terror plan, the security forces have foiled this attempt of the Pakistani terrorists and now have recovered 3 grenades along with 14 rounds of AK series, 6 rounds of pistol along with the other wire cutters, knives, multi-purpose knives and other belongings of the terrorists that have been recovered from this very area. This area is the Behram Gala, upper area of the Behram Gala in the Surankot area of Poonch, where the recovery has been made, and as we speak the search operations are also underway in the general area. We are being told that this is part of, since this was an intelligence based operation, multiple such operations are also underway in the different parts of the Poonch district so as to rule out any possibility, because on 27th of this month the Buddha Amarnath Yatra, which is also a highly revered shrine in the Mandi area of the Poonch, that Yatra is also to begin, and keeping the sensitivity of the area in view, now as we speak the massive coordinate, the search and the area domination operations are underway, but a big success coming for the joint forces as the Jammu and Kashmir Police along with the Indian Army has busted a major terror hideout, recovering 3 grenades and a huge cache of ammunition.
All right. Thank you so much, Gursimran, for all those updates. There we'll keep coming back to you for more on that story. And viewers, let's move on. We have big breaking news coming in from Rajasthan, where mob has lynched a youth to death in Jahaspur after a minor collision, and protests have erupted in the area. So what happened was, on Friday evening in Bhilwara's Jahaspur area, a tragic incident unfolded. A young man's car accidentally collided with a vegetable cart belonging to a local vendor selling potatoes and onions, and the situation escalated rapidly. And in a fit of rage, the bystanders there attacked the young man, resulting in his death. And the incident has triggered widespread anger among the local residents who gathered outside the Jahaspur police station. They protested, and this protest also grew intense, prompting the arrival of the local MLA as well and the police as well. Let's get all the updates from Weber, our colleague who's joining us from Bhilwara. Weber, what more details you can provide us, because we understand that now there has been an increased police presence outside at the scene of the crime as well as the hospital as well. What more details you can provide us?
और देखिए, बिल्कुल भीलवाड़ा का ये जहाजपुर इलाका है जहां पर ये पूरी घटना घटी। एक शख्स जो सफेद कलर की गाड़ी में आपको नजर आ रहा होगा, वो एक ठेले को टक्कर मारता है और टक्कर मारने के बाद वहां पर भीड़ जुटती है और भीड़ उस शख्स को, सीताराम जिसका नाम है, उसे जबरदस्ती गेट से बाहर खींचती है और उसे इतना मारती है कि सीताराम की मौत हो जाती है। ये तय था। इस पूरे मामले के बाद विवाद जो है वो बढ़ेगा। तमाम हिंदू संगठन जो है वो देर शाम जो है थाने के बाहर पहुंचते हैं, वहां पर धरना प्रदर्शन करते हैं और इस पूरे मामले में सख्त एक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं। लेकिन जब सीताराम की मौत हो जाती है और उस मौत के बाद जब ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज सामने आता है, जिस वीडियो में बिल्कुल साफ देखा जा सकता है कि कैसे एक कार एक ठेले को टक्कर मारती है। उस ठेले पर जो शख्स मौजूद रहता है वो भीड़ वहां पर आसपास की बुलाता है। उस कार वाले को लोग घेर लेते हैं और न सिर्फ घेरते हैं बल्कि उसकी हत्या तक कर देते हैं। अब क्योंकि फिलहाल पोस्टमार्टम को लेकर भी स्थानीय लोगों का, हिंदू संगठनों का यह कहना है कि जब तक के इन सभी आरोपियों को आइडेंटिफाई नहीं किया जाएगा, जब तक कि इन सभी का आइडेंटिफिकेशन के बाद इनकी गिरफ्तारी नहीं की जाएगी, तब तक के वो लोग इस शव का जो है वो अंतिम संस्कार नहीं करेंगे। प्रशासन लगातार धरपकड़ कर रहा है और इस वीडियो के आधार पर उन तमाम चेहरों को आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा है जो इस पूरी वारदात में शामिल थे, जिन्होंने सीताराम की पीट कर हत्या की है। पुलिस के लिए चुनौती यह है क्योंकि भीड़ बहुत ज्यादा है। ऐसे में उन तमाम चेहरों का, उन आरोपियों का पहचान कर पाना, उन आरोपियों की गिरफ्तारी कर पाना एक बड़ी चुनौती पुलिस के लिए जरूर है। और इन चुनौती
Absolutely. So what the police are looking at is right now looking at the identification of all the miscreants who caused the death of the young man in Bhilwara. Thank you so much for all those updates there. And viewers, we'll also now take a look at some other news from across the nation in Bharat in One.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Security has been tightened for the Bahuda Yatra. 100 police platoons, RAF, ODRF and the Coast Guard have been deployed. High security measures have been taken to avoid any mishap. Celebrations went on as Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama celebrated his 90th birthday. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju also attended the birthday celebrations. Flash floods have been reported across Mandi as the locals rushed to aid the affected families with the ration and first aid kits. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhdu met the affected families, announced relief and package worth 5,000 for assistance. A network of arms narco ring has been busted. The network from Dubai to Pakistan is being investigated. And investigating agencies have recovered pistols and heroin. Viewers, it's time to take a break, and coming up ahead, Prime Minister Modi is in Argentina. He has met with the Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister in 57 years to visit the country.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan.
They say the gods walk among us, but once a year, in Puri, we walk with them. More than a festival, it's faith in motion, a journey carried by hearts, hands, and hope. This year, kindness walks with devotion, as meals of faith and warmth reach lakhs, nourishing not just bodies, but souls. When we serve devotion, you serve the divine.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter.
His rocket company is the only reason we can now send America astronauts into space. Take over, Elon.
But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car.
Asia's largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very warm welcome, viewers, to this brand new edition of Forces First. I'm Rakshita Mishra with you. Viewers, we will start with the big story of the day, how India fought and won against the terror troika. A three-front war during Operation Sindoor, and we will talk about all the angles and how the Indian Army has exposed the terror troika. With that, we will go on to discuss the curious case of F-35B and should India make the choice of, in fact, not going for the F-35 jet. A lot more lined up for you on this edition of Forces First, viewers. But the top story remains how India had won against this trio, the triad of Pakistan, China and Turkey, viewers. The wheel has dropped and the Nexus stands exposed. Viewers, Operation Sindoor was not just about precision strikes, it was also about battling this hidden triangle of threats. One border and three enemies, yet India stood tall and strong. India refused to blink with 21 shortlisted targets and 9 precision hits. India remained at the top of the escalation ladder. So viewers, Lieutenant General Rahul R. Singh revealed how China armed Pakistan and how Turkey backed it. Now live intel from China was given to Pakistan. Drones from Turkey were supplied and India was not just fighting Pakistan. And an overwhelming 81% of Pakistan's military hardware is of Chinese origin, with China using the country like a live laboratory to test its military tech. This is what has been outlined by the Deputy Chief of Army. Listen.
Pakistan was the front face. We had China providing all possible support. And it's no surprise because if you were to look at statistics, in the last 5 years, 81% of the military hardware that Pakistan is getting is all Chinese, 81% of that. So it's no surprise. And another thing that China perhaps has seen is that he is able to test his weapons against, say, various other weapon systems that are there. It's like a live lab which is available to. So it's a good, that is what is something we have to be very, very cognizant about. Again, Turkey also played a very important role in providing the type of support that was there. There was a message from the military operations, Pakistan, that they would want a ceasefire. And the reason why this particular thing happened, because there was a punch that was ready and they realized that that hidden punch, in case that comes through, Pakistan would be in a very, very bad condition. So that was the reason why they asked for a ceasefire.
So there you heard. The Indian Army has set the record straight. Colonel Shailendra Singh, defence expert, joins us on the broadcast. Colonel Singh, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV on Forces First. And, you know, this is something that we all know. We knew about the Turkish drones. We know how China has been the so-called all-weather ally. But we do understand it was using Pakistan as a borrowed knife. And it was like a live laboratory, sir. And also now, this is a axis of terror, axis of evil, so to speak, that India is now battling. How big you think is the challenge? Yes, India did prevail over them, but from here onwards, what are the lessons we are learning and what is the approach that our forces should take now?
Jai Hind, Namaskar. Let me tell you one thing at the outset. I think we have shown to the world that if Israel can fight countries simultaneously, we can also fight 3 countries simultaneously. Out of that, one country happens to be the so-called niche country called as China. More important is what Rahul is saying, Rahul is an absolute straight ramrod officer who will face truth as truth. And two parts comes out very clearly. We should be very sure about it. Any conflict with Pakistan will always be supported by China, Turkey or XYZ, somebody or the other. So we will have to always cater for that. We will have to plan for that. Coming down to the next level of it, China, whether we are a live lab or whatever lab, they are increasingly realizing that India has something which can defeat all three of them. You kept providing the live vectors and threat, and we did our job and came back also. You couldn't stop us. Bigger worry is Turkey. Giving drones is not the problem, but deploying the men to operate those drones is a matter of very grave concern. I think Rahul has brought out another thing very clearly. For our populated cities, we need to upgrade our air defense system, because future war, you will see Pakistan will be characterless the way it is to strike at our population center. I think I'm prepared to say even to that extent that we can take examples from the world. Let us concentrate that we have a war coming, and only then we will be prepared for it. If you think that war will not come, I think you will go wrong. Air defense is the requirement of the day. If you want to save your population, you want to save your industrial, cities, everything is dependent on that. Striking, losing, losses, very minor part of it. Whether you lose one aircraft or two doesn't make a difference. But what matters most when your civil population suffers the casualty. So I think Air Force, Navy, India, all three need to combine together, and the government and the will of people should be, let us spend that 1 rupee extra and come out with air defense, which is immediate and catering for the imminent threat. If you're going to wait that by 30 or 35, 2035, you'll be raiding with a better kind of air defense.
Right.
It may not moving correct. So please do it now. It is the need of the day. It is the need of the hour.
Right, sir. Colonel Sharendra Singh, thanks so much for joining us with your insights on that story. Viewers, now we get you how this fight is only expanding. Viewers, a diplomatic flight created strategic turbulence in Ankara. Now, Air Chief Marshal AP Singh's visit to Greece, the pictures of his visit made Turkey nervous already. And as India and Greece draw closer, there are reports coming in of potential missile deal that have certainly set off the alarm bells in Turkey. The special visit has sent shockwaves across the leadership of Turkey, as Turkey and Greece have been engaged in a long-standing conflict. To remind our viewers, the visit aimed at enhancing bilateral cooperation in operations and training, marking a significant step in strengthening the strategic partnership between the two air forces, especially after what India did in Operation Sindoor and the role of Air Force. Now, there are murmurs of a potential missile deal between India and Greece. And of course, Turkey is not ready for it. And to give us more of a perspective and context to it, we have, in fact, our expert on this. But just telling you, viewers, there's something else that is also brewing in Dhaka. Ankara is making bold moves, viewers. Erdogan is trying to woo Bangladesh as well. As reports say that Turkey is trying to get closer to Bangladesh. And Turkey is eyeing strategic foothold in Bangladesh. How? Because according to reports, top Turkish defense official is heading to Dhaka with a high-level meeting lined up with Bangladesh's interim leader, Yunus. It's not just diplomacy, viewers, it's about defense, drones and deeper designs. Now, I have with me a former diplomat, Ambassador Deepak Vora, joining us on the broadcast. Ambassador Vora, thanks so much for joining us on Forces First once again. And, India went cold on Turkey during Operation Sindoor, the boycott. Now what we see that India is in fact turning up the heat on Turkey with, these back-to-back visits. We've seen Prime Minister in Cyprus, we've seen Air Chief Marshal in Greece. Now this talk about the missile deal, which is now deemed as a master stroke, sir. And at the same time, you have Turkey cozying up with Bangladesh.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure to be with you and to learn from you. I just heard what Colonel Saab was talking about in terms of the forthcoming war. I hope it doesn't happen. That's our job to prevent these things happening. As far as Turkey is concerned, let me go back for a second and tell you, ma'am, that you give us all the information about what is happening. Colonel Saab gave us a great and a brilliant analysis of why it is, of how it is happening, while we try and figure out why it's happening. As far as China is concerned, very, very simple. He doesn't care about Pakistan. He uses it as some kind of slave, and if a few slaves die in the process of whatever he's doing, it doesn't matter. What is his relationship with India? We don't trust him. He dislikes India because we are a barrier on his path to global domination. His enemy is the United States, and he sees India as an obstacle. So keep encouraging Pakistan to kind of make trouble for India. As far as Turkey is concerned, ma'am, there is this feeling in this buffoon's head, who's now the president, there's some chap called Darban, something like that, that we are the successors of the Ottomans. Remember that Babur, the first Mughal emperor, was also a Turkic-speaking fellow, also supposedly of Turkic origin. And thereafter, so they've said that we've ruled over the world, etc. He has these ideas. And now India is rightfully ours because Pakistan, which used to be a part of India, of British India, has acknowledged that I'm their god. They genuflect before me, so now why not India? And we, of course, told him where to get off. So Turkey doesn't like us at all. And we are now giving it right back to him that it takes two to tango. With Greece, for example, ma'am, you know, our bilateral trade is only about $2 or $2.5 billion. Not very much. We export aluminium, fish, and whatever. They send us a few things. But the big thing now is the defense component. This is truly rattling the Turks. Otherwise, what do the Turks have to do with Pakistan? Except for the fact, initially the Pakistanis said, oh, guys, we are all Arabs. The Arabs said, get lost, you are not. Then said, oh, we are Central Asians. Central Asians said, go away, you are not. Okay, we are Turks. And Turkey said, as long as you're willing to accept that you are my slaves, you can claim Turkish origin. This is where we are at the moment. We are giving it right back, not just in diplomatic terms, through Cyprus, etc., with Prime Minister looking at that part of Cyprus that is occupied by the Turks, but also through the defense deal. And this is a message to the world, ma'am. I say this very, very slowly. A message to the world. Don't mess with Bharat.
Absolutely.
Because we back to you and we hit you harder than you will expect.
Ambassador Vora, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us with your insights, presented so precisely over there. Now, viewers, F-35B fighter, the curious case that continues. It's known as the stealth powerhouse. It has been stranded in Kerala for days now, the royal jet of United Kingdom. Now, all this started when the fighter jet had to make an emergency diversion to Thiruvananthapuram due to low fuel and bad weather conditions. This incident turned F-35 into a meme material as well, several calling it a royal mess. Now, grounded beast worth $100 million was unable to fly despite multiple repair attempts by UK defence crews. And the exit plan is dismantling the jets wing by wing, bolt by bolt, so that it can be airlifted on a C-17 Globemaster back home. The incident has done more than stall air traffic. It sparked a serious debate. Should India really invest in F-35 aircraft? Of course, this is the F-35B. What US is offering us is the other variant. But a jet that promises stealth but is proving to be fragile raises many questions. Some call it one-off glitch. Others see this as a cautionary tale about over-dependence, viewers, on foreign tech. And we, of course, have to understand that India has a choice to make. Viewers, this is not the first incident. That's why we are stressing on this. In 5 years, there have been major crashes reported with regards to F-35B. The first crash, September 2018. Reason? Faulty engine. In 2020, F-35B jet collided mid-air with pilot ejected with injuries. Then in 2022, F-35B crash landed during vertical landing test. Pilot ejected safely, though the aircraft was heavily damaged. Another crash in 2024, last year, fighter jet crashed into New Mexico en route a test assignment. Now recently, viewers, just this year, fighter jet crashed during training mission in Alaska. Pilot experienced in-flight malfunction. And the important part is that wherever it crashed, it was also found in time. Now, this has raised concerns. F-35B, talking about this particular aircraft, has seen frequent mechanical failures, recurrent hydraulic leaks, and engineer faults. Crashed 9 times in 5 years at least, a statistic that is clearly concerning. Another point is that in modern warfare, drones have proven more effective than the fighter jets. And this is the costliest fighter jet in the world. Viewers, we've seen the usage of drone in the Russia-Ukraine war with Israel-Iran conflict as well. So now, the question why we are talking about this is that the Trump administration, Trump himself has been pushing India and many other countries to buy the F-35. Reason behind this? competition with Russia? The US Congressional Research Service estimates India will spend $200 billion, 17 trillion rupees that is, on defense in the next decade. So Trump wants the US to secure a major share of this expenditure. So what other option India has, viewers, here, other than F-35? This is Russia's Sukhoi, the Sukhoi 57, viewers. We will talk about that. We will tell you, of course, why the Su-57 is important, but we also have a special guest joining us right now. Air Vice Marshal P.K. Srivastava, defense expert, joins us. Air Vice Marshal P.K. Srivastava, thanks so much once again for joining us on Forces First. There's a lot of talk about F-35. It's called one of the deadliest, it's the most expensive, and we've seen Trump's sales pitch for the same. But, there have been many faults in the F-35. There are many hidden troubles. And now this, of course, comes as a case in point what has happened in Kerala, sir. You feel that India should not really go with the F-35?
Rakshita, firstly, it's great being on your show. But let me tell you, I think we have turned lucky to see that site at Trivandrum. Because I had always said that why do we need F-35? It's such a costly aircraft. And what purpose will serve for a country like ours where we need to put $8 somewhere where it gives us good value for each rupee we spend in. And this money can be spent very wisely on our air defense system. So actually, this aircraft had, in fact, about 11 major incidents and 1 fatal. And the way this aircraft could not be retrieved tells that the generation of sortie, let's say we are in war situation, the aircraft's potency is known by the number of sorties it can generate per day. And that happens to be that you cannot retrieve it in so many weeks. So why do you need this kind of aircraft that you cannot really put into action again? So that is one point. Secondly, if you happen to buy this aircraft under some kind of political pressure, under some kind of geostrategic talk and all that, you will end up paying so much for each hour of flying. You will have come with, this aircraft will come with n number of strings attached to it because of ITAR, which is there. And your software, you will not know what software is there. It's a very software, very coded and very centric, software-centric aircraft. So in fact, if you ask me one simple answer to the great complex question, I would say instead, we should go in for pushing our own project, which is AMCA. We can wait and we need to strengthen our air defense system. You've seen through Op Sindoor that our air defense system, since it was strong, our populated areas, which has been mentioned, were not hit. We were able to stop the swarm of drones. We were able to stop the missiles and everything coming onto us.
Right.
And we know that they didn't come to us only with the help of one country. There were 3 countries who are fighting against us. We need to strengthen that very, very hard. And we need to come out with our own BrahMos 2 on a very fast track. And as long as our radars, air defense radars, and our ballistic missiles, other missiles are ready, including our stealth missiles, and we achieve hypersonic speeds, which we are achieving. India doesn't have any kind of, ambitions to go over and grab other territories. For our kind of political, dispensation, we need to strengthen our own air defense system, put the money over there, put our money, each rupee over there, and really avoid this. And numbers make a difference. Right. If you really ask me, I don't have the kind of time, I can tell you, if we are large number of 4.5 generation aircraft, our own aircraft, and Rafale included, we can really overwhelm the enemy. And as far as we are concerned, the way our terrain is, including the Himalayas on north, and this side we have Pakistan. Pakistan doesn't really have strategic depth. Turkey is sitting somewhere, they can't send all the missiles and drones here. We can really intercept. So I feel buying F-35 at the cost of 110 million each aircraft, and its life cycle cost, you know how much? If you want to run it for 25 to 30 years, which it should minimum, we'll be spending another $110 million. Right, sir. And each something will take around 50.
Right, sir. Air Vice Marshal P.K. Srivastava, thanks so much for joining us. We have to move on right now to the other big news from the world of defense for India. Viewers, the message is going out loud and clear. It goes 2,500 kilometers deep. We're talking about the Agni 5, once a nuclear deterrent. It's now reborn as a bunker buster. You heard this word, this phrase during the Iran-Israel war. The DRDO now is developing a lethal indigenous bunker buster variant of the Agni 5 missile, a weapon that could obliterate underground enemy facilities deep beneath the mountains, concrete bunkers and fortified command centers. What sets this missile apart, viewers, is not just its raw destructive power, but its ability to travel at hypersonic speeds estimated between Mach 8 and Mach 20. That's nearly 10,000 to 24,500 kilometers per hour. At such speeds, enemy air defense systems become virtually useless. By the time detection happens, it's already too late. Pakistan has another reason to be scared, and this time it's because of Agni 5. And remember, viewers, how Shahbaz Sharif's close aide just spoke about the fear that rattled Pakistan because of the BrahMos, and this is even deadlier. So Agni 5, this is something that Pakistan has all the reasons to fear, and India is eyeing deeper targets now. So this is the Agni 5 unleashed, viewers. This is India's possible answer to United States' mother of all bombs. We heard about the bunker buster, the case of Fordo, the underground nuclear facility. Of course, there are reports that come in that US did not really destroy that. Of course, there is a lot of doubts on that, but nevertheless, there is no doubt about the capabilities of the bunker buster. And remember, that is the bunker buster bomb. India is developing a bunker buster missile. So that is one stark difference. All right, viewers, now we shift our focus to the final segment. We deep dive now, viewers, into a transformative moment for India's defense landscape. A moment that not only fortifies our nation's security, but also redefines its place on the global stage. On 3rd of July, the Defense Acquisition Council, DAC, under the leadership of Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, approved a staggering 1.05 lakh crore rupee in capital acquisition proposals, a historic step towards modernizing our armed forces and cementing India's commitment to self-reliance through the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. This is more than a procurement milestone. It's a bold declaration of India's ambition to build a future where our defense capabilities are as indigenous as our resolve. So there you have what all India is looking at. Meticulously selected projects categorized under the Buy Indian IDDBM framework. Indigenously designed, developed and manufactured, they represent a seismic shift in how India equips its army, the navy and the air force. Cutting-edge armored recovery vehicles to advanced surface-to-air missiles, from electronic warfare systems to submersible autonomous vessels for the Navy. These acquisitions, viewers, are tailored to meet the challenges of modern warfare while reducing our dependence on foreign imports. And this comes in right after Operation Sindoor. The demand has increased. With over 99% of these projects sourced from the Indian industries, this decision is set to create thousands of jobs also and ignite technological innovation. A major boost, viewers, to Atmanirbharta in defense. All right, viewers, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Forces First. Keep watching Republic TV. Jai Hind.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Future wars will be conducted based upon intelligence input gathered from enemy's territory. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China or even Indian Ocean region, then we have to know what exactly Pakistan is doing in depth, what they are doing towards their military assets, which are closer to Afghanistan border, closer to Iran border. Similarly, in Tibet, in case there is a skirmish with China, we would like to know what is PLA doing in Tibet or even in depth in China.
This week on Get Me Right, we put a searchlight on the plight of the Hindu community of Sindh in Pakistan. Their daily struggles just to be able to survive amid abductions, conversions and targeting of their women. Also, is China deliberately hitting India's food security by squeezing the supply of specialty fertilizers amid Kharif season? And if yes, do we have a way out? Is an experiment with genetically modified crops worth a shot to increase India's agricultural output? Join me this weekend only on Republic TV.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with Republic TV. You're watching Live and Breaking this Saturday with me, Oyana Mitra. We are continuing our coverage from Patna, where businessman Gopal Khemka has been shot dead. And now this case has sparked a massive political storm in the state just months ahead of the Bihar elections. So that and a lot more for you. But first, the headlines at 1 p.m. Businessman Gopal Khemka shot dead in Patna outside his residence by unknown miscreants. British Navy's F-35 jet stuck in Kerala may be dismantled and airlifted to the United Kingdom as repairs failed. A team from West Asia is set to arrive in Kerala tomorrow. Prime Minister Modi in Argentina meets Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister in 57 years to visit the country. Security forces launch massive search operation in Kathua. Suspected terrorist movements detected. After Karnataka's faced caste census sham exposed, BBMP suspends officer for negligence in survey sticker pasting task. All right, viewers, it's a massive crackdown against red terror in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district. There's an encounter that has been underway, and we're learning that one Maoist has now been neutralized in this ongoing encounter between Dantewara Bijapur DRG forces and the Maoists in the forests of Indravati National Park, just on the border of Bijapur-Dantewara district. This is the latest that we are picking up as far as this encounter that started this morning between Maoists and security forces in the Bijapur district. And we believed earlier that 2 to 3 Maoists were trapped in the ongoing encounter. And this big breaking news that's now coming in that one Maoist has been neutralized while the encounter, I beg your pardon, 2 Maoists that have now been neutralized in this encounter. It's a big win for the security forces as the crackdown against the red corridor, red terror in the region continues. This part just comes just months after Operation Black Forest's massive success in the region in the fight against Maoist terrorists in the Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district. And Bharat, my colleague, joins me live from Bijapur for more on the story. Bharat, tell us more about this operation. What is the latest that you're picking up as far as this encounter is concerned?
बिल्कुल, देखिए मैं आपको बता दूं, बीजापुर के जो इंद्रावती इलाके पड़ते हैं, जो नेशनल पार्क के अंतर्गत आते हैं, वो पूरा इलाका एक समय नक्सलियों का आरामदायक इलाका कहा जाता था। उस इलाके पे माओवादियों की मौजूदगी यानी माओवादी पनाह लेते थे। उस इलाके पे अगर जवान पहुंच रहे हैं तो स्वाभाविक सी बात है, वैसे इलाके जिस इलाके पे सामान्य तौर पे सामान्य आदमी की आवाजाही नहीं होती थी, लेकिन बारिश का समय है, बारिश हो रहा है, नदी नाले उफान पर है, जिस इलाके पे इनकाउंटर और मुठभेड़ चल रही है वो पूरा इलाका ऐसा इलाका है नदी नाले से उफान पर रहता। उस इलाके पे बारिश के समय सामान्य तौर पे आदमी नहीं जा सकता। ऐसे में जिस तरीके से देश के गृह मंत्री ने जो डेडलाइन तय किया है 31 मार्च 2026 तक माओवाद का समाप्त कर देंगे। हाल ही के दिनों में छत्तीसगढ़ दौरे पे थे अमित शाह, तो उस दरमियान उन्होंने एक बात कही थी कि बड़ी बात कही थी, फोर्स अब रुकने वाली नहीं है, चाहे बारिश हो, चाहे आंधी हो, चाहे तूफान हो, जिसके तर्ज पे अब फोर्स काम करेगी। अब ऐसे इलाकों को भी लेके, जिन इलाकों पे माओवादियों की मौजूदगी है, उन इलाकों पे भी घुसेगी, जिसके तर्ज पे अब बड़ा ऑपरेशन देखा जा रहा है। छोटी मोटी ऑपरेशन नहीं, बड़े कैडर के जो नक्सली हैं, माओवादी हैं, उनकी मौजूदगी, उनकी आमद उस इलाके पे थी, नेशनल एरिया के अंतर्गत उन इलाकों पे थी, जिसकी सूचना पे पुलिस की जो एक टुकड़ी है उस इलाके पे निकली थी। डीआरजी एसटीएफ के जो पुलिस बल के जो संयुक्त बल है वो उस इलाके पे निकली थी। जब उस इलाके पे निकली गई तो लोकेशन लिया गया, उस लोकेशन के तर्ज पे ऑपरेशन जो है वो चलता गया। माओवादी जो है वो हावी होने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, गोलीबारी कर रहे थे, जवानों को नुकसान पहुंचाने के अलग अलग तरीके से गोली का इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे, बंदूक से फायरिंग कर रहे थे। तड़तड़ाहट की जो गोली की आवाज है सरहदी इलाके तक पहुंच रही थी, जिसकी मुंह तोड़ जवाब देते हुए जवान जो है वहां पे एलओ लेते हैं, लोकेशन लेने के बावजूद अब वो मुंह तोड़ जवाब देते हुए उस इलाके पे नजर आते हैं। या एक वजह माना जा रहा है कि एक माओवादियों का जो शव है वो रिकवर कर दिया गया है। बड़ी अपडेट मैं आपको बता दूं, रिपब्लिक भारत में एक्सक्लूसिव आपको बता दूं कि एक माओवादी नहीं है, बहुत से माओवादी मारे जाने की खबर आ रही है, लेकिन इस पर अभी तक आधिकारिक तौर पर पुष्टि नहीं हुई है। एक नक्सली का शव बरामद हो गया, इसलिए कहा जा रहा है पुलिस के अधिकारियों के द्वारा कि एक नक्सली जो डेड है, लेकिन कुछ देर के बाद स्पष्ट हो पाएगा कि कितने नक्सली डेड है, किन किन घटनाओं पे शामिल थे, क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज करते थे, किन किन एक्टिविटीज में वो इन्वॉल्व थे, कितने बड़े बड़े घटनाओं पे वो शामिल थे। ये तो आने वाला वक्त ही बता पाएगा, लेकिन अभी भी उस इलाके पे इनकाउंटर चल रहा है। बहुत बड़ी तादाद में माओवादियों की मौजूदगी है। ऑपरेशन थमने का नाम नहीं ले रहा है, बारिश हो रही है या आंधी आ रही है, लगातार ऑपरेशन चल रही है उस पूरे इलाके पे। नेशनल एरिया वो इलाका कहा जाता है, नक्सलियों का आरामदायक इलाका भी कहा जाता है। एक बार आपने देखा कि पहले एक बार और नेशनल एरिया में इनकाउंटर हो चुकी है, बड़ी तादाद में माओवादियों को पुलिस के जवानों ने ढेर किया था। लेकिन 2 दिन पहले छत्तीसगढ़ के गृह मंत्री बीजापुर पहुंचे थे और उन्होंने कहा था कि जवानों की भुजाओं की ताकत है, जवान चाहे तो 1 महीने में नक्सली खत्म कर सकते हैं। लेकिन शांति वार्ता की पहल को लेके वो आदेश और कानूनी जो रहता है वैधानिक तौर पे वो उसका अनुशंसा न करके वे उसको गलत तरीके से काम ना करते हुए उसके दायरे पर रहकर वो नियम के तहत काम कर रहे हैं, ताकि किसी भी तरीके से कोई आम आदमी को क्षति ना पहुंचे। यह भी एक मौजा माना जाता है। लेकिन अब जिस तरीके से ऑपरेशन
Right. All right, Bharat, many thanks for giving us those details. Viewers, you heard it from my colleague. The encounter is still underway as we speak, and of course, this is something that we're tracking very closely. But for the moment, we shift focus to more breaking news coming in from Telangana and its Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, whose comments have now sparked a massive political row in the political landscape. In fact, the Chief Minister has defended the Congress government's decision to name canteens after late former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, citing her contributions to welfare schemes and development initiatives. He has in fact emphasized that Indira Gandhi's policies have enlightened the lives of the poor and the current government's welfare schemes are inspired by her vision. He further said that those who are protesting against this should be stripped and thrashed. That is a controversial statement that has been made by the Telangana Chief Minister. Let's in fact take a listen in to that complete statement.
ఇందరమ్మ ఆనాడు తెచ్చిన సంక్షేమము అభివృద్ధి ఈ రోజు పేదవాళ్ళ జీవితాల్లో వెలుగులను నింపింది. అందుకే ఈ రోజు ఏ సంక్షేమ పథకానికైనా ఇందరమ్మ పేరు మనం పెడుతున్నాం. హైదరాబాద్ నగరంలో పేదవాళ్లకు 5 రూపాయల భోజనం పెట్టాలని, పేదవాళ్లకు కూలి పోయే వాళ్లకు పొద్దున్నే టిఫిన్ చెయ్యడానికి క్యాంటీన్లు పెట్టి ఇందరమ్మ పేరు పెడితే ఈ తలమాచిన దద్దమ్మలు సోయిలేనోళ్ళు ఇందిరమ్మ పేరు పెడతారని ధర్నా చేసిరు. ఒక్కనొక్కని బట్టలిప్పదీసి కొడితే తప్ప ఇందిరమ్మ గొప్పతనం వాళ్ళకు అర్థం కాదు అని చెప్పి నేను ఈ సందర్భంగా తెలియజేస్తున్న మిత్రులారా.
It's truly shameful the kind of language that this Chief Minister has been using against the people, who protest democratically. Srimati Indira Gandhi could have been a great leader. I don't know much about her. I haven't seen her in my lifetime. Now, if this Honorable Chief Minister wants to score brownie points with Mr. Rahul Gandhi, this whole changing the name spree that he started indulging in, renaming TS to TG and started, renaming a lot of institutions as well. And now all of a sudden, Annapurna canteen, which was launched about 8 years ago by Sri KCR. Now, Annapurna is not a leader of the BRS party or not a political figure. Annapurna in Telugu literally means a mother who feeds a child. Now, that kind of a name, to be changed for no good reason, just to please his bosses, is something that, as it is truly a very, very disrespectful decision. And on top of that, to comment against the people of our party and others who have basically protested the name change is even more shameful. If this pay CM wants to score brownie points with Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he can change his own name. अपना नाम रेवंत रेड्डी से बदल के जवाहर रेड्डी या राजीव रेड्डी रख ले, हमें कोई तकलीफ नहीं है. बट आज इंदिरा जी को बदनाम करके, कांग्रेस पार्टी के लीडरों को बदनाम करके आज क्या हासिल कर रहे हैं हमें तो नहीं समझ.
All right, Aneri, my colleague, joins me live from Hyderabad. Aneri, tell us more details about this entire controversy, especially the renaming of all these canteens. And of course, the Chief Minister is facing a lot of backlash for his comments, wherein he's saying that protesters must be stripped and thrashed to understand just how great Indira Gandhi was.
we see is that Telangana Chief Minister Revant Reddy has now sparked a controversy over a comment which he has made while addressing the Congress party workers, and this comes at the time when the Congress government and the GHMC plans to rename the Annapurna canteen to Indiramma canteen, and we had seen that earlier there were protests that had taken place over renaming this Annapurna canteen to Indiramma canteen by the BRS cadres, and they have been opposing the renaming, and now we see that Revant Reddy has very clearly stated that to make them understand the greatness of Indira Gandhi, one needs to be stripped and thrashed. A clear warning, a stern, strong words being used by the Chief Minister has definitely now snowballed, where we see that the BRS working president KTR has also now slammed Revant Reddy for using such words he has been on the post of the Chief Minister, and now we see that KTR has slammed Revant Reddy, saying that just to please his top bosses like Rahul Gandhi, he is using such he is doing such things like renaming the Annapurna canteen to Indiramma canteen, and now we see that how this has turned out into a massive controversy, where Chief Minister was seen using the words like stripped and thrashed to make them understand the greatness of Indira Gandhi.
Yes. All right, Aniri, thank you for tracking that story very closely for us. For the moment, viewers, we shift to breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where a terror hideout has now been busted in the Surankot area of Poonch. And we're learning that 3 grenades and a huge cache of ammunition and arms have been recovered. And this contains about 14 AK rounds, 6 pistol rounds, 5 pencil cells, a wire cutter, a multi-data cable connector, a multi-purpose knife, a common iron rod, and a paint box has also been recovered by our forces. So this is the latest breaking news that we're tracking in from the valley, and those are the visuals of the same from your screen. It's a massive terror hideout that has been busted by our security forces in the crackdown against terror that continues in the valley. And Gursimran Singh, my colleague, joins me live for more on this story. Gursimran, the visuals are on our screens. Tell us more about this operation, and what do we know about the latest as far as terror hideouts and the movement of terrorists in the Poonch area is concerned?
See, it was based on a specific intelligence input that was generated by the Jammu and Kashmir police, and along with the Indian Army, they have recovered a huge cache of terror hideout. This includes 3 grenades along with 14 rounds of AK, 6 rounds of pistol and other ammunition. That includes the multi-wire cutters, multi-purpose knives have been recovered from this terror hideout. Now, large-scale search operations have been launched in the area because this area of the Surankot, this is very close to the track, to the route of the Buddha Amarnath Yatra, which is a highly revered shrine in the Mandi area of Poonch that is all set to start from 27th of this month. So keeping that in view, there was some intelligence input with the Jammu and Kashmir police, based on which a joint operation was launched and the recovery has been made. As we speak, the senior officials are also on the ground, and now the searches have been extended in the nearby area. This is in the Behramgala area of the Surankot that has been one of those areas where the terrorist presence has been there, and there are credible inputs with the agencies, and that's why nothing is being ruled out. And as we speak, the searches are underway in the Behramgala area. But this recovery also shows that the forces are on the highest of the alertness, and any threat that is being posed by the adversary is totally being countered by the security force. And ahead of the Buddha Amarnath Yatra that is there in the Poonch district, the forces are maintaining the highest of the alertness.
Right. Yes. Absolutely, Gursimran, thank you for giving us those details. These are crucial details that we're picking up as the Amarnath Yatra continues in the valley. Now, viewers, let's take a very quick check of everything else that is making news across the country. This is Bharat in 1 minute.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together, we can.
Security has been tightened for the Bahuda Yatra. 100 police platoons, RAF, ODRAF and Coast Guard officials have been deployed. High security measures have been taken to avoid any mishaps. Celebrations have been lined up as Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama will celebrate his 90th birthday. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju is also on the list of attendees. Flash floods have been reported across Mandi. Locals have been rushed to aid affected families with ration and first aid kits. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu has announced relief and packages worth 5,000 rupees for rental assistance. Punjab police has busted a Pakistan-Malaysian drug ring. The network from Dubai to Pakistan is still being investigated. The recovered Glock pistols and heroin and 6 people have been arrested for other drugs and hawala money. Alright viewers, now a story that we've been tracking from Bihar's Patna, that is the Bihar capital, very closely. Late last evening, businessman Gopal Khemka was shot dead just outside of his apartment by unknown assailants. Now, a CCTV footage has captured the chilling murder of Gopal Khemka, who was a well-known businessman leader from Bihar. He was shot dead just outside his home, and the clip shows a man wearing a blue shirt and a black helmet standing outside his home. He very likely recceed the area before Khemka's arrival, and in just a few seconds, 2 cars arrived waiting for the guard to open the iron gate. The first car was driven by Khemka himself, while the second car behind him was driven by another man. And as the businessman was waiting, the accused ran towards him, shot him in his car and fled the scene on his bike. The incident took place near the Panache Hotel in the Gandhi Maidan police station area. This is a case that has come to light from Bihar's Patna, and it has triggered a massive political storm. And this man, Gopal Khemka, is a Patna-based industrialist, viewers. He is the owner of the Magad Hospital. He was shot dead late last night near his apartment. And this comes just about 6 to 7 years after his son Gunjan Khemka was murdered in a similar fashion. And the police has now launched a manhunt for the killers. A special investigation team has been formed to investigate the case. And the killing has sparked massive alarm among the business community and also triggered a political storm. You have leaders from the RJD and independent MP Pappu Yadav, who was at the spot late last night, in fact going on to say, questioning the law and order situation in Bihar just months of the Bihar elections, and questioning the Nitish Kumar government over the despicable state of what he claims is the despicable state of law and order in Bihar. We have some reactions coming in, political reactions on the case. Let's take a listen in.
अभी मुझे मतलब सुबह ही पता चला, मेरे पास कुछ शब्द नहीं है, मैं कैसे दुख व्यक्त करूं, शोक संतप्त परिवार को संवेदनाएं दे सकता हूं। और मैं ये आशा करता हूं कि जो भी कानून के तहत कार्रवाई है वो यथाशीघ्र होगी, सख्ती के साथ होगी और ऐसी कार्रवाई होगी कि आगे ऐसे अपराधों करने की हिम्मत ना हो लोग किसी। ये भी मुझे पता चला, बहुत अफसोस है भाई, बहुत अफसोस है।
All right, let's slip into a very short break. But on the other side, security forces have launched massive search operations in Kathua. Suspected terrorist movement has been detected. And also tracking for you, after Karnataka's fake caste census sham has been exposed, the BBMP has suspended an officer for negligence in the survey sticker pasting task. Tracking that and a lot more for you. Stay tuned to Republic TV as we take a very short break.